Here's the setup. A perfectly ordinary middle-aged salaryman closes his eyes on another exhausting day at the office, and the next thing he knows, the world has flipped completely upside down. He opens them as the single most beautiful, alluring dark elf this fantasy realm has ever laid eyes on. One second, he is just another tired guy in a suit. The next, long silver hair is whipping around a face that could stop traffic, pointed ears and all. The old man inside is already deeply confused, but the body he is stuck in looks ready for a magazine cover. Our newly minted dark elf declares she is heading out, striking a pose that would make anyone's heart skip. On the inside, though, it is pure middle-aged panic. How did a grumbly office worker end up looking like this? Reality hits hard as the dark elf stares at those elegant hands and that impossibly graceful reflection. Every movement feels wrong for someone who used to complain about lower back pain after sitting too long. The gap between the stunning exterior and the weary salaryman brain is already comedy gold. People nearby cannot stop staring at this mysterious beauty who just appeared. Meanwhile, the old man piloting the body is just trying to figure out basic facts like where he is and why everyone keeps looking at him like that. He wants answers, not attention. Before long, the dark elf is being pointed toward the local adventurer scene, because of course a walking vision like this must be some legendary fighter. The middle-aged soul inside is already sighing. All he wanted was a quiet life, maybe a decent cup of tea. Trouble finds him anyway. A sudden blast of energy rocks the area, and our dark elf is right in the middle of it, looking every bit the powerful warrior. Internally, it is pure, why is this happening on day one energy from a man who just wants to go home. Then the magic happens. Literally, the dark elf's hands light up with power she somehow knows how to use, even while the old man inside is still processing the fact that magic is real. The contrast is perfect. Elegant spellcasting on the outside, pure bewildered salaryman on the inside. A young swordsman rushes over, clearly impressed by the display. He sees a cool, capable dark elf beauty who just handled business. What he is actually talking to is a middle-aged guy who is mostly worried about how loud everything is and whether his new back is going to start aching. Questions fly. Is she a high-ranking adventurer? Where did she come from? The dark elf gives vague answers while the old man inside quietly panics about having zero clue how any of this works. He is winging it with the calm of someone who has survived decades of office politics. They end up walking together through the town, the swordsman chatting away while our dark elf listens with that serene, mysterious expression. Behind the perfect face, the middle-aged man is taking mental notes on this strange new world and already missing modern conveniences. More locals gather, drawn like moths to the alluring dark elf who just strolled in. Everyone assumes she is dangerous, elegant, and full of secrets. None of them suspect the guy running the show just wants a nap and for people to stop staring so hard. In the bustling streets, the attention only grows. The dark elf moves with natural grace that turns heads everywhere, while the old man inside is calculating how to find food, shelter, and maybe a quiet corner where nobody expects him to be mysterious and cool. Someone hands over what looks like an adventurer registration or guidebook, treating the dark elf like a big deal. She flips through it with elegant fingers while the salaryman brain is just relieved to finally have some written information in this chaotic new life. Later, alone with his thoughts, the memories of the old life come flooding back. The suit, the desk, the endless overtime. He still has no idea how he ended up here or what happened to his original body. The mystery sits heavy even as this beautiful new form rests. Night falls and the dark elf finally gets a moment of quiet, lying there looking every bit the ethereal beauty while the middle-aged man inside stares at the ceiling. He has no answers, no plan, and a body that keeps attracting trouble. All he knows is tomorrow is going to be another long day in this ridiculous new life. Chapter 2 picks up with our dark elf still processing the impossible. That stunning face in the mirror belongs to someone else, but the grumpy middle-aged man inside is wide awake and very confused. He tries to explain the truth out loud. I am an old man. The words hang there while everyone just stares at the alluring dark elf saying something completely ridiculous. The practical salaryman brain kicks in fast. New body, new world, zero instruction manual. First order of business is figuring out where he even is and how to not draw more attention. Of course, calm is the last thing this face allows. People keep reacting to the mysterious beauty in front of them, while inside our hero is just sighing like he missed the last train home. A few locals try to get close and offer help, or maybe just gawk. The dark elf exterior makes every polite refusal look like cool, distant elegance instead of pure social exhaustion. Then the real trouble starts. Someone decides this alluring stranger looks valuable, and suddenly blades are out. Our middle-aged elf just wanted a quiet corner, not a street scuffle. Instinct takes over in the most unexpected way. The body moves like it knows exactly what to do, while the old man inside is still trying to process the paperwork of this whole situation. One clean motion later and the attackers are on the ground. Everyone watching sees a lethal dark elf. What they miss is the quiet internal grumble about how this is already too much excitement for one day. In the aftermath, a few kinder faces step forward. They offer a place to rest and some basic answers, which is exactly the practical help a tired salaryman's soul needs right now. A small creature decides the beautiful elf is the perfect new friend and latches on hard. Our hero freezes like any middle-aged man who just got volunteered for unexpected pet duty. The group settles in and the questions start flying. Who is she? Where did she come from? Why does she look like she walked out of a legend? Inside, the old man is just hoping nobody asks for a resume. He tries the honest approach again, mentioning the whole middle-aged man situation. The reactions range from polite confusion to complete disbelief, because that face does not match the story at all. Talk turns to adventurers in the wider world waiting outside. Our dark elf listens with the careful attention of someone who used to sit through long office meetings and knows when trouble is being scheduled. Night settles and the group shares a quieter moment. For a second, it almost feels like the calm life he wants, until the conversation drifts toward what comes next and the responsibilities already piling up. And just like that, the peaceful pause ends. Something bigger is already heading their way, and our middle-aged elf is about to learn that looking this alluring means the quiet life stays permanently out of reach. Chapter 3 picks up with our dark elf still trying to figure out this brand new fantasy life, and already the locals cannot stop staring. On the outside, it is pure, mysterious beauty. On the inside, it is a middle-aged man who just wants everyone to calm down and let him breathe. Two curious townsfolk are already trading theories about the stunning newcomer. Meanwhile, the old salaryman brain is running damage control, trying to look cool while internally calculating how to avoid any more attention. Conversation turns awkward fast. Everyone expects deep dark elf wisdom and dangerous charm. What they get is a tired, middle-aged guy fumbling through small talk and wondering when lunch is. Things escalate when the alluring exterior draws a crowd and a bit of unwanted drama. Our protagonist sighs on the inside, the classic middle-aged reaction to unnecessary chaos before noon. Suddenly, blades are out and the situation turns physical. The gorgeous dark elf moves with lethal grace, but the mind piloting the body is just trying not to pull a muscle. Sparks fly and the fight gets serious. Crossed blades, sharp angles, pure action. Everyone watching sees a lethal beauty in her element. The old man inside is mostly annoyed that his peaceful day is ruined. A brief pause lets the dust settle and some words get exchanged. Our middle-aged elf tries the reasonable approach first, because decades of office life taught him that yelling rarely solves anything. Walking and talking with a blonde companion, the dark elf keeps that elegant posture while the internal monologue is pure grumpy salaryman energy. Just another day of looking mysterious on purpose. Then a new face appears with a weapon drawn and an attitude to match. The gap between the alluring dark elf image and the tired old man running the show has never felt wider. The tension snaps. Our protagonist shifts into combat mode, hair flying, expression sharp. Inside, it is less battle cry and more, "Why is this my problem again?" The dark elf unleashes a flurry that looks straight out of a legend. Graceful, powerful, completely overwhelming. The middle-aged soul behind those eyes is just hoping this ends quickly so he can sit down. Another explosive exchange lights up the street. The body moves like it was born for this. The mind is counting the seconds until the noise stops and he can go back to wanting a quiet cup of tea. And then comes the line that seals the moment. With hair whipping and a fierce grin, the dark elf declares the fight is far from over. Pure cool factor on the outside, pure stubborn middle-aged determination on the inside. The crowd can only watch in stunned silence as the alluring dark elf stands tall after the clash. Nobody has a clue that the person who just dominated the scene is mentally filing a complaint about the lack of chairs. Aftermath talk begins. Our middle-aged elf tries to de-escalate with the same practical tone he once used in endless meetings, while everyone else still treats him like some untouchable legend. A mysterious figure in a wide-brimmed hat appears at the edge of it all, watching with clear interest. The dark elf notices, and that old man caution kicks in hard. New trouble is already lining up. So the chapter closes with our beautiful dark elf catching a breather while a brand new wild card studies every move. Next time, that quiet life he keeps dreaming about is going to slip even further out of reach. Chapter 4 picks up with our middle-aged dark elf still trying to process the absolute nonsense of waking up gorgeous, pointed-eared, and stuck in a fantasy world. The body is alluring enough to stop traffic, but the mind inside is pure salaryman. Stiff back, quiet sighs, and a deep craving for one uneventful morning. Instead, the day starts with company. A bright, energetic blonde girl is already in full conversation mode, bouncing questions off the dark elf like this is the most normal thing in the world. Our protagonist answers with the careful politeness of a man who just wants the meeting to end so he can find tea. Every soft smile the elf face makes only encourages the girl more. The blonde keeps pressing for details about dark elves, adventures, and whatever mysterious aura this beauty is giving off. Inside, the middle-aged man is running damage control, offering the blandest possible answers while silently praying nobody asks him to do anything athletic. He just wants a calm life. The universe has other plans. More back and forth follows, the girl hanging on every word while the dark elf maintains that perfect mysterious expression. Viewers see an elegant beauty dispensing quiet wisdom. Reality is a tired office worker choosing his words so he does not accidentally sound like he is from another world entirely. Then the peaceful chat gets interrupted in the loudest way possible. A massive clawed arm smashes into the scene and suddenly everyone is scrambling. The dark elf's beautiful face stays composed, but you can practically hear the internal middle-aged groan of course this happens today. Locals and a sharp-eyed man in a hat react in pure panic while the blonde sticks close. Our protagonist sizes up the chaos the way a veteran commuter sizes up a delayed train, annoyed, resigned, and already calculating the fastest route back to normal. Looking dangerous is easy. Feeling dangerous is another story. A whole group of armed folks now has eyes locked on the dark elf, weapons half raised like they have decided she must be the source of the trouble. The alluring exterior is working overtime against him. One wrong move and the quiet life plan is toast. True to form, the middle-aged man inside refuses to escalate. He talks calm and practical, trying to defuse the standoff with pure common sense while the blonde backs him up. Everyone else is still staring at the ethereal dark elf beauty and completely missing the "please just let me go home" energy underneath. Somehow the talking works. The hat-wearing man and the blonde end up flanking the dark elf as the tension eases. Three unlikely figures standing together after the mess. Our protagonist looks regal and unbothered. Internally, he is already budgeting how many quiet hours he has left in the day. They head into town next, and the real problem begins. Every single person they pass does a double take at the stunning dark elf gliding through their streets. The middle-aged soul inside just wants to find a corner seat and disappear. Instead, he gets the full celebrity treatment without asking for any of it. Inside a busy establishment, the staring only gets worse. A local man tries to strike up conversation while the dark elf answers with short, practical replies that somehow still sound mysterious and cool. The gap between reputation and reality has never been funnier. More townsfolk crowd in, clearly captivated by the alluring newcomer. Our middle-aged elf keeps the polite smile glued on while mentally drafting a list of reasons why fame is the worst possible outcome. He came here for peace. He is getting an audience. One particularly bold guy gets way too close, leaning in like the dark elf's beauty is an open invitation. The exterior stays elegant. The interior is pure grumpy office veteran calculating the exact social distance required to end this interaction immediately. And that is where Chapter 4 leaves our reluctant beauty. Surrounded by attention, stuck in the most inconveniently perfect body, and still no closer to the quiet cup of tea he deserves. Next time, the middle-aged man inside may finally have to decide how far he is willing to lean into the dark elf legend just to get everyone to back off. Chapter 5 drops us right back into the chaos our middle-aged dark elf never asked for. The stunning exterior keeps pulling every eye on the street, while the tired salaryman brain inside is already calculating the fastest route to somewhere quiet. A rough-looking guy is mid-rant, clearly convinced this mysterious beauty is some kind of dangerous player. Little does he know the person staring back is just an old man wondering why everyone has to make everything so dramatic. Before the conversation can even settle, the alluring dark elf is already in motion. That graceful body moves like a predator, but the internal monologue is pure middle-aged exasperation at having to deal with this nonsense before lunch. Someone hands over a small glowing object and the dark elf accepts it with perfect elegant poise. On the inside, our salaryman is just hoping whatever this is does not come with a long-term commitment or paperwork. A massive guy looms in close, all muscle and intensity, while the dark elf stays cool as ice. The contrast is comedy gold. Everyone sees a seductive threat, but the real person in there is silently rating this whole encounter as a solid waste of energy. Alone for a second on the steps, the dark elf finally gets a breather. That beautiful face looks mysterious and unreadable, yet the middle-aged man behind it is simply cataloging how many more problems are about to land on his new shoulders. Suddenly there are kids in the mix, and the dark elf is holding glowing orbs like it is the most natural thing in the world. The old man inside panics a little. Children mean responsibility, and responsibility is exactly what he was trying to retire from. Of course, peace does not last. Action explodes around them, and that alluring body launches into the fray with flawless grace. Inside, the salaryman is just praying nobody expects a heroic speech afterward. Night falls, and the dark elf is crouched over a trail of footprints, reading the ground like a seasoned tracker. The middle-aged brain is treating it like overtime detective work he never signed up for, complete with mental complaints about the hour. A quiet close-up catches that perfect dark elf face looking lethal serious. Viewers see enigmatic beauty. We know it is just an old man concentrating hard so he does not mess up the next social interaction. Now the dark elf is surrounded by armored types and travelers, all of them hanging on every graceful gesture. Our middle-aged protagonist nods along, already planning how to extract himself from whatever group quest this is turning into. A pointed conversation with a sharp-eyed companion gets heated fast. The dark elf stays composed and alluring while the salaryman inside is busy translating fantasy drama into plain old workplace nonsense he has seen 100 times. Shadowy figures appear and the tension spikes again. That beautiful dark elf form looks ready for anything, yet the real reaction is pure middle-aged sigh. Another complication right when things were almost manageable. At last, a table full of food. The dark elf sits down to a proper meal, and for one glorious moment, the old man inside is in pure heaven. Hot stew beats mysterious destiny any day of the week. Conversation flows around the table while the dark elf listens with that perfect, mysterious smile. Inside, the salaryman is just glad nobody is asking him to fight, cast spells, or look seductive for at least the next 10 minutes. Then one scarred young man freezes, eyes wide, like he has just realized something huge about the beautiful dark elf sitting across from him. Whatever he figured out, it is about to drag our reluctant middle-aged hero straight into the next round of trouble. Chapter 6 finds our middle-aged man still trapped in the most alluring dark elf body imaginable, standing with his little group outside a lively town under a distant castle. That stunning figure already has every passerby staring, while the tired salaryman inside is just hoping for one quiet afternoon. Of course, quiet is the last thing this world ever gives him. The second the dark elf is noticed, apologies start pouring out from every direction. People bow and stammer while our hero stands there looking ethereal and dangerous. Inside, the old man is already exhausted by the fuss and silently wishing everyone would just calm down. Explanations fly back and forth as the companions try to smooth things over. The dark elf listens with perfect, mysterious composure, but the middle-aged mind running the show is busy calculating the fastest way out of this conversation. Fantasy life, it turns out, involves way too many meetings. Questions keep coming. Is this really a dark elf? Can they trust her? The group rallies to defend their stunning companion, while the old man inside just wants to invent a boring cover story and move on. All that beauty is becoming a full-time job. A blonde companion pulls the dark elf aside for a more serious talk, worry clear on her face. Our hero answers with calm elegance that only makes the whole situation look deeper and more dramatic. Meanwhile, the salaryman's soul is mentally drafting an exit strategy and dreaming of tea. That beautiful face fills the frame as the truth of being a dark elf hangs in the air. Nearby folks react with awe and nerves, completely missing the world-weary sigh happening on the inside. He nods along politely, praying this clears the air so he can finally sit down. More voices pile into the discussion, everyone offering their take on the mysterious beauty in their midst. The dark elf stays mostly quiet, letting them talk while the old man quietly sizes up who might cause trouble later. Classic middle-aged risk assessment wrapped in an impossibly gorgeous package. The mood shifts again as someone points out a fresh complication. Companions scramble to keep things from escalating around their alluring friend. Inside that perfect exterior, our hero is already regretting every life choice that led him out of bed this morning. They end up indoors, checking on someone who has clearly had a rough stretch. The dark elf stands over the bed, looking every bit the concerned, graceful savior. The middle-aged man underneath is simply hoping this does not turn into another long, unpaid obligation. Outside again, the dark elf lets out a soft "humph" and turns away, silver hair catching the light like something out of a legend. The others keep chattering behind her, still processing. Our old man is already walking toward the next problem with the energy of someone who has survived too many overtime shifts. Bags appear and more soft apologies echo around the room as the group prepares to move on. The dark elf ends up right in the middle of the logistics, handling it with quiet efficiency. That is pure salaryman muscle memory wearing an alluring fantasy skin. A full crowd gathers, buzzing with excitement and questions aimed straight at the stunning dark elf. She stands there looking ethereal while the middle-aged man inside silently begs everyone to lower their volume. This is the exact opposite of the calm life he keeps trying to find. The attention refuses to ease up. People press closer, some grateful, some simply starstruck by that impossible face. Our hero keeps a polite expression plastered on, but you can almost hear the internal grumble about personal space and fantasy world manners. Thanks and gentle apologies keep flowing as the dark elf tries to wave it all away. The practical old man wants to say the whole thing is no big deal and walk off, yet every small gesture looks profound coming from that alluring form. The comedy practically writes itself. Before long, the entire group clusters together like they are posing for a keepsake. Smiles bloom all around the dark elf, who manages a small, polite one in return. Inside, the middle-aged soul is counting the seconds until solitude and a decent meal become possible again. Then the dark elf steps forward with a decisive look and declares she will handle whatever is left. That confident beauty sells the moment completely. The tired guy in the driver's seat is simply accepting one more chore so everyone else will finally relax and leave him alone. A neatly wrapped gift appears out of nowhere, presented with huge smiles by people who clearly think the dark elf is some kind of mysterious savior. Our middle-aged hero accepts it with graceful poise, already wondering what on earth a practical man is supposed to do with a fancy present in a world he barely understands. Handshakes and heartfelt thank yous seal the whole affair. Everyone looks relieved and enchanted, treating the dark elf like a legend, while the old man inside just nods and starts planning his escape to somewhere quiet. But if this chapter proved anything, peace never lasts when you look like that, and the next round of attention might not be nearly so friendly. Chapter 7 finds our middle-aged dark elf still stuck in the most inconveniently gorgeous body imaginable, just trying to keep a low profile in this fantasy town. Of course, looking like a mysterious, alluring beauty means every conversation turns into an event, and the old salaryman inside is already exhausted. Inside, the dark elf gets pulled into yet another lively chat with the locals and a handful of eager young faces. Everyone hangs on every word and graceful gesture, completely missing that the person behind those elegant features is mentally calculating how soon this can wrap up so he can rest his feet. The banter keeps rolling as more people pile in, treating the dark elf like some legendary figure who wandered into their ordinary day. Our protagonist nods along with perfect poise while the middle-aged man inside silently wonders why no one ever just wants a quiet cup of tea. Then someone yells, "Watch out," and the whole mood flips. The dark elf's eyes go wide in that flawless face, and the old man driving the body can only think one thing. Of course, something is about to go wrong right when he was almost getting comfortable. Suddenly, the group is buzzing with urgency, and the dark elf is right in the middle of it, looking every bit the composed beauty while internally sighing at the fresh headache. Plans start forming around this mysterious dark elf expert who never asked to be the expert. Two of the younger guys lean in close, full of excitement and zero chill, treating the dark elf like their new secret weapon. The middle-aged man behind those striking features just wants them to lower their voices and maybe bring snacks for the road. Before long, the whole crew is geared up and the dark elf is stuck playing along, offering calm, practical advice that everyone takes as deep elven wisdom. Inside, it is pure salaryman mode. Assess the problem, minimize the overtime, get home in one piece. Out in the wild, the situation gets real fast when a massive beast shows up and the dark elf ends up face to face with it. That alluring exterior stays cool and collected while the old man inside is already complaining about the terrain and how this was not in the daily schedule. The younger members of the group look to the dark elf for the big, heroic move, eyes sparkling with total faith. Our middle-aged protagonist just wants a simple, efficient solution that does not involve unnecessary drama or ruined clothes. One of the guys is already fired up and ready to charge in, while the dark elf stands there looking ethereal and dangerous. The contrast is perfect. Everyone sees a cool-headed beauty ready for battle, but the man inside is just tired of loud enthusiasm before lunch. Deeper in the trees, the forest comes alive with movement, and the big creature is clearly not in a sharing mood. The dark elf moves with that natural grace everyone expects, even though the middle-aged mind is busy spotting escape routes and muttering about proper footwear. The beast charges, and the dark elf meets it head-on, looking like a legend stepped straight out of a storybook. Inside it is pure practical panic management. Stay balanced, watch the angle, and please let this end before anyone starts cheering too loudly. The fight turns chaotic fast, with the creature thrashing and the group scrambling around the dark elf. That stunning face never cracks, but the old man running the show is already drafting a mental complaint letter about fantasy world workplace hazards. In the middle of the mess, the dark elf ends up front and center again, every eye locked on that alluring figure as the real threat looms larger. The middle-aged man inside realizes, not for the first time, that blending in was never an option in this body. With the beast still raging and the whole party counting on their mysterious dark elf savior, our protagonist is about to show exactly what a tired middle-aged mindset can do when cornered. Next time, the gap between that perfect exterior and the grumpy old soul inside is going to get even wider and a lot funnier. Welcome to a short and sweet bonus chapter. Our middle-aged man in the stunning dark elf body is simply standing there, trying to exist like a normal person, yet that alluring figure already steals the whole frame. Inside, he is pure practical salaryman energy, probably wondering why the simplest pause still feels like a performance. The day refuses to stay quiet. Quick cuts show startled reactions and curious glances flying his way the moment that beautiful dark elf face appears. Our reluctant protagonist keeps the expression calm and polite while the old man inside quietly calculates how many social interactions he can survive before finding a bench. A lively young girl with bright eyes latches onto the conversation. To her, this is a mysterious, elegant, dark elf full of hidden depth. In reality, she is talking to a tired, middle-aged guy who just wants the chat to stay simple and the volume reasonable. That gorgeous face softens into a genuine warm smile, and the girl lights up completely. The old man inside is only being decent and neighborly the way any sensible adult would, yet the alluring dark elf exterior turns every ordinary nod into something that looks profound and enchanting. The two keep talking, and the girl grows more animated by the second. Our middle-aged elf offers steady, no-nonsense replies that sound like wise elven counsel purely because of the face delivering them. The gap between the breathtaking appearance and the practical old soul mindset has never been funnier. Then the chapter flips the script in the best way. The girl suddenly turns straight toward us with a cheerful wave and a bright message. Hello everyone, here is a little advice. Thanks for reading, have a nice day, and let her know about any errors. It is a charming fourth wall break that feels like the whole cast is smiling with us. And just like that, the little side story wraps on a warm, playful note. Our dark elf did nothing more dramatic than exist and exchange a few kind words, yet the middle-aged man inside still somehow became the highlight of someone else's day. That is the ongoing curse and comedy of this beautiful new life. You can almost hear the old salaryman's sigh of relief once the attention fades. He will take any quiet moment he can get, even if the world keeps insisting he is a legendary beauty instead of a guy who just wants tea and fewer surprises. Moments like these remind us why the premise works so well. Everyone else sees danger, mystery, and impossible charm. We know the truth is a grumbly, middle-aged heart trying to keep the peace and avoid overtime in a fantasy world. The girl clearly walked away thinking she met someone unforgettable. Our dark elf walked away hoping the next errand involves fewer excited introductions and more comfortable silence. Classic. Even the smallest bonus chapter delivers that perfect fish out of water flavor. One polite smile from this alluring dark elf is enough to make an entire conversation feel magical, while the man inside is simply being a decent adult. That is the charm of Chapter 7.5 in a nutshell. No grand quests, just everyday contact that still spins out of control because the face and the soul refuse to match. We leave our middle-aged elf momentarily free of the spotlight, which is exactly how he likes it. Of course, we all know the quiet never lasts long when you look like the most captivating dark elf alive. So enjoy the friendly little thank you and the gentle comedy while it lasts, because the next full chapter is waiting, and trouble has a habit of finding this beautiful form whether the old man inside is ready or not. Stay tuned. The gap between that alluring dark elf exterior and the weary middle-aged heart is only going to cause bigger, funnier headaches from here. Chapter 8 drops us straight into the middle of a full-blown mess. A massive beast is thrashing around like it owns the place, and every adventurer nearby is scrambling just to stay on their feet. Swords swing, spells crackle, and the whole party is throwing everything they have at this oversized, fluffy nightmare. It looks exhausting even from here, and you can already feel our middle-aged dark elf's back complaining. One fighter dives in hard while the others try to keep the beast pinned down. The thing just keeps coming, shaking the ground with every move and making calm, quiet retirement feel further away than ever. Blades flash and the group pours on the pressure. From the outside, it looks like a legendary clash of heroes. On the inside of that stunning dark elf form, it is pure overtime with no break room in sight. Our alluring dark elf cuts through the chaos with perfect form, long white hair whipping around like something out of a painting. Nobody watching would ever guess the person steering that body just wants the noise to stop so he can sit down. Then the magic user steps up and shouts the spell that changes everything. Windcutter rips across the field, a clean, powerful blast aimed straight at the rampaging beast. The hit lands with a thunderous impact that sends the monster reeling. Dust and force explode outward while the party watches the whole battlefield shift in an instant. When the smoke clears, everyone is staring. The dark elf stands there looking mysterious and untouchable, the kind of figure who just rewrote the fight without breaking a sweat. Internally, it is pure middle-aged relief that the loud part might finally be over. The group gathers around, still catching their breath and processing what they just saw. One of them admits he never expected help like that to show up out of nowhere, especially looking like that. Plans start flying. They need to keep moving, stay sharp, and figure out the next step before anything else decides to crash the party. Our dark elf listens with the patient, slightly tired expression of a man who has sat through too many workplace meetings. Someone pumps a fist and declares it is time to go. The whole group falls in line, energy high, completely unaware that the elegant dark elf walking with them is mentally calculating how many more of these adventures it will take to earn a quiet evening. Then the conversation turns directly toward the dark elf. A simple question lands and that beautiful face tilts with a small, confused reaction that somehow still looks graceful. One of the adventurers finally says what everyone is thinking. This is the first time he has ever seen a dark elf up close, and the sheer presence is almost too much to process. The camera lingers on that flawless face while the poor middle-aged soul inside is just trying to keep the conversation normal. Every soft word and calm glance only makes the others more starstruck. The gap has never been wider. To the party, this is a mysterious, powerful beauty who just turned the tide of battle. To the man living in that body, it is another long day of unwanted attention and zero chance of a peaceful cup of tea. And just when it seems the group might settle into something resembling a plan, the way they keep staring at our dark elf makes one thing crystal clear. Whatever quiet life this middle-aged man was hoping for is about to get a lot more complicated. Chapter 9 picks up with our alluring dark elf staring out at the quiet streets like a tired salaryman sizing up a new neighborhood. On the outside, it is pure mysterious beauty. On the inside, it is pure middle-aged calculation. Where's the quiet corner, and how fast can I get these kids fed without drawing a crowd? The kids have already claimed the dark elf as their personal guardian, climbing all over that elegant frame while the old man inside just sighs and lets it happen. He has the posture of someone who used to come home to bills and a stiff neck, not fan clubs of tiny admirers. A local drops to one knee in pure reverence, completely missing that the stunning dark elf is mentally drafting a grocery list. The gap between the awe on their faces and the practical grumble in that head is already comedy gold. Then a massive bird sweeps overhead and every kid loses their mind. Our middle-aged elf just tracks it with the calm of a man who has seen worse traffic on the morning commute, already wondering if the thing is edible or just another noisy neighbor. Cut to a brooding young man with the classic loner scowl, the kind who looks like he has not smiled since last tax season. He has no idea the most beautiful dark elf in town is about to treat him like a stray cat that needs feeding. The kids drag him into their little circle, and the dark elf, channeling pure dad energy, makes sure there is food on the table. Watching this impossibly gorgeous elf calmly portion out meals while thinking about balanced nutrition is peak middle-aged transmigration humor. The young man stares at the plate like it might bite him. The kids beam. The dark elf just waits with the patience of someone who has sat through too many awkward office lunches and knows hunger always wins. Meanwhile, the townsfolk are already spinning legends about the mysterious beauty who just appeared. They see danger and allure. What they are actually looking at is a grumpy old soul trying to keep children from spilling soup on his new clothes. The young man tries the classic brush-off, telling everyone to leave him alone. Our dark elf simply looks at him the way a middle-aged man looks at a kid who skipped breakfast and is now cranky about it. Trouble shows up fast. Some rough types decide the beautiful dark elf and the kids look like easy targets. Bad move. The old man inside may want a quiet life, but he is not about to let anyone mess with the little ones under his watch. One clean, practical counter later, and the problem is handled. No dramatic speeches, just the efficient energy of a salaryman who has dealt with worse office politics and wants to get back to his afternoon. The kids cling to their dark elf guardian, still buzzing from the scare. He herds them along with the calm authority of someone who used to wrangle deadlines, not monsters, and somehow both feel the same on the inside. Even the young loner gets pulled into the afterglow of concern. The kids thank him, the dark elf gives that quiet nod of approval, and for a second the whole group looks like the world's strangest found family. The kids chatter about how cool everyone was, while our middle-aged elf just wants the day to end so he can sit down. The young man hangs back, watching the stunning dark elf act like the most reliable adult in the room. Alone again, the young man stares out over the open land with that look people get when something does not add up. He has seen beauty before. He has never seen beauty that moves like a tired office worker who just wants peace and a hot meal. And that quiet suspicion is going to matter, because the more this dark elf tries to live a simple, middle-aged life, the more the world notices the impossible gap between the face and the soul running it. Next time, that attention gets a lot harder to dodge. Chapter 10 picks up with our alluring dark elf stuck in yet another lively group hangout, and on the inside, the middle-aged man is already calculating how long until he can politely escape. Everyone else sees a mysterious beauty holding court. He just sees a table full of noise and the faint hope of a quiet meal. The companions keep chatting away while the dark elf sits there looking ethereal and dangerous. Inside, the old salaryman is running pure logistics. Who ordered what, how much this is going to cost, and whether anyone will notice if he just zones out for a bit. Food finally arrives and the table turns into a proper feast. Our middle-aged elf eyes the spread with the quiet intensity of a man who has survived decades of office lunches and knows exactly how to pace himself. One of the younger ones starts fretting that the dark elf is being too polite about the portions. The beautiful exterior stays perfectly composed. The man inside is already planning seconds and wondering why fantasy worlds never seem to have decent tea. Meal done, the group heads out into the streets. The dark elf glides along looking like some legendary night predator. In reality, it is just a tired, middle-aged soul trying not to get lost and praying no one starts another dramatic conversation. Night air hits, and for one peaceful second, it almost feels like a normal evening stroll. Then the companions start glancing around like trouble is about to invite itself over, which is exactly the kind of thing our old man did not order. A voice cuts through the street, calling out a name, Haruka. The dark elf turns with that signature alluring calm, while the middle-aged mind inside instantly files it under "Please do not be my problem." Whatever just got summoned or revealed comes with a blinding flash that lights up the whole alley. Everyone else braces like it is the start of an epic showdown. Our dark elf simply squints the way any middle-aged man does when the overhead lights are too bright. When the light fades, the dark elf is left standing there, looking every bit the untouchable beauty of legend. The companions stare like they just witnessed something profound. Inside, the old man is mostly annoyed that his evening calm got interrupted again. Questions start flying and the group crowds in for answers. The dark elf answers in that cool, mysterious tone everyone expects. The middle-aged man running the show is just trying to keep the story straight enough that nobody asks follow-ups. Someone grabs hold and shouts Haruka's name again, like the whole night depends on it. The dark elf's perfect face stays unreadable. Deep inside, the salaryman sighs the sigh of a man who has sat through too many unnecessary meetings. The companions keep pressing, clearly convinced this gorgeous dark elf holds all the answers. What they actually have is a middle-aged man who would trade every secret in the world for a quiet room and an early night. In the end, the dark elf simply turns and walks off down the lantern-lit street, long white hair catching the light like something out of a legend. The group is left staring after that impossible figure, completely unaware the person inside is just done with the chaos for one night. That is the gap that keeps making every chapter gold. The world sees a dangerous, alluring dark elf vanishing into the night. We know it is a grumpy, middle-aged man finally claiming 5 minutes of peace, and next time that peace is almost certainly getting ruined again. Chapter 11 opens on quiet, bittersweet memories. A young boy and the woman who raised him share simple evenings over books and soft conversations, the kind of ordinary warmth our middle-aged dark elf has almost forgotten exists. Those flashbacks keep rolling. The boy grows up under her gentle care, little moments of reassurance in everyday life that feel painfully normal compared to the chaos our alluring elf keeps stumbling into. More pieces of the past click into place, a caring figure, a quiet home, and a kid who clearly adored the person looking after him. Meanwhile, our dark elf is about to get yanked right into someone else's family drama. Cut to the present, our middle-aged man in the stunning dark elf body finally thinks he has a moment alone. He mutters to himself about finally getting some peace, which of course means the universe has other plans. No such luck. The beautiful elf ends up face to face with a troubled young man, and that calm solitude evaporates instantly. On the outside, she looks mysterious and composed. On the inside, it is pure salaryman sighing. The young guy starts opening up, and our dark elf listens with that practical, no-nonsense patience only a middle-aged soul can muster. Everyone else would see an alluring listener. He is just trying to figure out how to wrap this conversation up cleanly. Then comes the gut punchline. The dark elf quietly admits knowing nothing about having a mother at all. The young man stares, and the comedy of a grizzled old mindset trapped in this ethereal body hits harder than any spell. The talk turns heavier. Our elf tries to offer steady, practical comfort, the only way a tired middle-aged man knows how, while looking like the most captivating being in the room. The gap between appearance and attitude is doing overtime. Emotions run high between them. The young man is raw, and the dark elf stays grounded, offering blunt honesty instead of fairy tale softness. It is oddly touching watching an old soul navigate someone else's pain in this body. Of course, peace never lasts. Suddenly, an attacker lunges in, and our alluring dark elf has to drop the heartfelt chat and switch straight into protective mode. That middle-aged irritation is about to get physical. In a flash, the dark elf pulls the young man close and faces the threat head-on. Everyone sees a fierce, breathtaking warrior. Inside, it is just a grumpy guy thinking, "I was having a conversation, thank you very much." Blade out, stance ready, the beautiful elf stares down the danger without flinching. The young man can only watch as this mysterious figure who was just talking about mothers turns into pure, intimidating elegance. After the immediate threat is handled, the two of them catch their breath. Our middle-aged elf checks on the guy with the same practical tone he would use after a long overtime shift, completely undercutting how dramatic the whole scene looked. They keep talking, the young man still processing everything, while the dark elf offers quiet, world-weary insight. That gorgeous exterior keeps drawing him in, but the advice coming out is pure, tired adult energy. Left alone with his thoughts, our dark elf stands there, looking every bit the enigmatic beauty. Inside, the middle-aged man is already bracing for whatever fresh trouble this new connection is going to drag him into next. Chapter 12 picks up with our dark elf still stuck in the middle of someone else's adventure, and the middle-aged man inside is already calculating how many steps until the next quiet bench. The party is on the move again, and every cheerful face around this alluring figure has no idea the person steering the beauty is silently budgeting for nap time. Then the sky decides to show off. A real live dragon glides into view, and while everyone else is losing their minds over the majestic beast, our middle-aged elf just stares like a salaryman watching an unexpected company outing. First time seeing a dragon? Sure, but the internal monologue is pure, great, more overtime. The group settles into what the pages call a pleasant stretch of the journey. Kids chatter, companions laugh, and the dark elf stands there looking mysterious and elegant while the old man inside is just grateful no one is asking him to do anything dramatic yet. A blonde companion leans in with easy conversation, treating this stunning dark elf like some cool, unflappable beauty. Meanwhile, the middle-aged soul behind those eyes is running the classic internal checklist. Stay polite, don't cause scenes, find the nearest exit from responsibility. And there it is, the mantra that keeps this whole comedy spinning. Our dark elf quietly affirms the only goal that matters. Live a quiet life, avoid trouble, keep the head down. The face says enigmatic allure. The heart says, please just let me clock out. Someone older in the party offers warm words of pride, completely missing that the person receiving them is a grumpy middle-aged man who has heard every corporate pep talk in existence. The dark elf nods gracefully. Inside, it is pure thanks, boss. Can I go home now? The road keeps rolling. Little side conversations bubble up around the group, and our alluring elf stays just far enough on the edge of it all to look cool and distant. Perfect cover for a guy who would rather people watch than join the team-building exercise. They reach a stop and someone casually suggests getting off. Simple travel logistics, yet every time this beautiful dark elf moves through a crowd, the middle-aged man inside feels the weight of every stare. Looking like trouble is exhausting when all you want is a quiet corner. A hooded figure draws a few curious glances from the group. Our dark elf clocks the vibe immediately with that practical old man radar for workplace weirdness. Something about this new presence feels a little too sharp for a peaceful afternoon stroll. The kids in the party keep the energy light, bouncing around while the adults trade small talk. Our middle-aged elf stands in the middle of it all, looking like a legendary beauty, yet the only legend happening inside is the silent prayer for fewer plot hooks. That hooded stranger lingers in the frame, and the comparison hanging in the air is not exactly comforting. Someone notes the air of a dangerous type, the kind of person who looks ready for trouble. Our dark elf's calm face hides a very middle-aged, please not today sigh. For a moment, the mood softens again. Three bright faces share a smile, and even our alluring dark elf gets pulled into the gentle atmosphere. The old man inside almost lets himself enjoy it. Almost. Then the view opens up to a wide stretch of countryside, the kind of peaceful scenery that would make any tired salaryman want to retire on the spot. Our dark elf stands against that backdrop, looking every bit the mysterious traveler, while the mind behind the eyes is already pricing out a quiet cottage. But the chapter closes on that beautiful profile turned thoughtful and a little distant. Whatever calm the middle-aged man was hoping to protect is already starting to fray at the edges. Something about this road and the people on it is not done with him yet. Next time, the gap between that stunning dark elf exterior and the grumbly old soul inside is only going to get wider. Stick around because the quiet life this middle aged elf keeps begging for is about to take another very inconvenient detour. Chapter 13 drops us straight into the middle of a very loud argument. Locals and adventurers are talking over each other about some threat in the woods, and right in the middle of the chaos stands our dark elf, looking every bit the mysterious beauty, while the middle-aged man inside just wants everyone to lower their voices. The talk turns serious fast. Someone points out that a dark elf is standing right there, and the whole group freezes like they just spotted a legend. Our salaryman in elf form can only sigh on the inside because all this dramatic attention is the last thing a tired middle-aged guy needs before breakfast. Then the dark elf moves, and the world seems to hold its breath. Magic flares around that alluring figure in a burst of light and sound, looking like the most dangerous spellcaster alive. Inside, pure middle-aged grumbling about how flashy everything has to be in this world. The crowd reacts exactly how you would expect when a stunning dark elf starts throwing power around. Shocked faces, dropped jaws, people backing up. Nobody has a clue that the person behind those elegant eyes is mentally calculating how much longer until this mess is over so he can sit down. And there it is, the real problem. A massive beast steps into view and someone shouts the bad news loud and clear. Their leader is a monster. The middle-aged man inside the dark elf takes one look and immediately regrets every life choice that led to this moment. Brave voices pipe up, offering to handle it, but the tension is thick enough to cut. Our dark elf just stands there looking cool and untouchable while the old man running the show is already tired of the heroics. Of course, the beautiful exterior means everyone expects miracles. The fight kicks off and the dark elf is right in the middle of it, weapons flashing and magic swirling. Onlookers can only stare at the armor, the grace, the sheer presence. They see a lethal beauty. We know it is a middle-aged guy who would rather be filing paperwork than dodging claws. A white wolf appears in the chaos, locking eyes with the dark elf. For a second, everything goes quiet except for that intense stare down. The old man inside has no idea if this is a new friend or just another problem with fur, but he keeps the elegant poker face locked in place. Suddenly, the dark elf and the wolf are side by side like they planned it. The crowd watches in awe as this alluring figure seems to command the wild itself. Inside, the middle-aged man is mostly hoping the wolf does not expect pets or treats, because he is not prepared for animal care right now. Close-ups catch every perfect angle of that dark elf face reacting to the mess. Soft surprise, focused determination, the works. Everyone around reads it as mysterious charm. We know it is pure salaryman stress about how this day keeps getting longer. The group starts regrouping around the dark elf like she is the natural leader. Knights and townsfolk look ready to follow that beautiful figure anywhere. The middle-aged man trapped inside just wants a quiet corner and maybe a warm drink, but no one is offering either. Next thing you know, the dark elf is standing tall beside a massive dark horse, surrounded by armored allies. The whole scene looks like the start of an epic quest poster. Our old man is silently wondering when exactly he signed up to be the cool, mysterious commander of anything. Battle noise erupts again and the dark elf is right back in the thick of it. Monsters and fighters clash while that alluring form cuts through the middle, looking completely unstoppable. The gap between the legend everyone sees and the grumpy guy just trying to survive another minute has never been funnier. Now it is just the dark elf face to face with a fierce wolf, the air crackling between them. One wrong move and things get messy. The middle-aged man keeps the cool exterior perfect, even though inside he is bargaining with whatever gods run this world for a simple, quiet life. In one explosive motion, the dark elf strikes, magic and steel flashing together in a perfect, dramatic finish. The whole battlefield seems to stop and stare at that impossible beauty in action, and that is when the real trouble of the day decides to show its face. Whatever just got the Dark Elf's full attention is not going to let our middle-aged hero rest easy. Next chapter, that stunning exterior is going to drag the old man even deeper into a mess he never asked for, and the comedy only gets better from here. Chapter 14 picks up with our unlikely Dark Elf hero still stuck playing the role of mysterious beauty while the rest of the party just wants a quiet moment in the woods. The middle-aged man inside is already calculating how much longer until he can sit down and rest those new legs. Of course, the forest has other plans. A massive wolf bursts out of the trees, all teeth and bad intentions, and the whole group freezes. Everyone sees a lethal predator. Our Dark Elf sees one more unpaid overtime shift. The old salaryman instincts kick in immediately. Assess the threat, end it fast, go home. Without even raising his voice, the Dark Elf lifts a hand and casually drops a fire arrow right on target. The spell erupts in a blinding flash that sends the wolf flying. To the party, it looks like elegant, terrifying Dark Elf magic. Inside, it is pure middle-aged efficiency. Problem identified, problem removed. The wolf is down and the forest goes quiet again. The party stares like they just watched the goddess of war clock out after a long day. Our Dark Elf simply lowers the hand and waits for the paperwork to finish itself. Everyone rushes over, asking if she's hurt. The Dark Elf waves them off with the exact energy of a tired office worker saying he is fine. Really, no need to make a fuss. The gap between that stunning face and the grumpy internal monologue is doing heavy comedy lifting right now. Then the compliments start flying. The party cannot stop staring at how impossibly beautiful and composed she looks after casually taking out a monster. Meanwhile, the middle-aged man inside is mostly relieved the whole thing only took 30 seconds and did not ruin his clothes. Talk turns practical. Someone asks if she is coming along for the rest of the journey, and the Dark Elf agrees like it is just another mandatory team outing. The old man is already budgeting the emotional energy this will cost. Of course, there is a catch. One of them blurts out that her magic feels creepy. The Dark Elf's perfect face stays calm, but inside the salaryman is thinking, "Creepy? Kid, that was the cleanest fire arrow you will ever see." The conversation keeps circling back to how strange and powerful that spell looked. Our Dark Elf tries to play it off as normal Dark Elf technique, while the middle-aged man quietly hopes nobody asks for a PowerPoint presentation on the casting method. They press her for details and she ends up explaining it is simply the magic she knows. The party hangs on every word like she is revealing ancient secrets. The guy inside is just trying not to sound like a guy who learned everything from a cheap manual. To settle the curiosity, she casually summons a dark floating orb, the kind of dramatic visual that makes everyone take a step back. To them, it is mysterious and dangerous. To the middle-aged man, it is basically a flashlight with extra steps. The party keeps peppering her with questions while she stands there looking ethereal and slightly done with the whole interrogation. You can almost hear the internal sigh of a man who just wants everyone to stop staring and start walking. One companion gets a little too close, still dazzled by the alluring exterior, and our Dark Elf gives the exact polite but final look of someone who has already clocked out for the day. The comedy writes itself. Eventually, the group falls in line and they set off again through the trees. The Dark Elf takes the lead without even trying, long hair catching the light, every step looking graceful. Inside, the old man is just glad the meeting finally adjourned. As they disappear deeper into the forest, the party is still whispering about how incredible and slightly terrifying their new companion is. None of them have the slightest clue that the real person steering this beautiful Dark Elf is a middle-aged man who would trade every spell for a quiet chair and a warm drink, and whatever is waiting further down the path is about to make that quiet life even harder to find. Chapter 15 finds our alluring Dark Elf still stuck in the most inconvenient body swap imaginable, and right now that means standing around a quiet little village house while everyone stares like she just stepped out of a legend. On the inside, the middle-aged man is already calculating how long until he can sit down and rest his feet. The locals have no idea the mysterious beauty in front of them just wants a normal evening and zero drama. Inside, the conversation kicks off with the usual mix of curiosity and awe aimed straight at the dark elf. She answers with that calm, slightly tired politeness that only a salaryman who has survived too many meetings can pull off. Everyone else is hanging on her every word like she is about to drop ancient wisdom instead of basic common sense. They end up at the table, and our middle-aged elf does what any practical guy would do, focuses on the food and the simple comfort of sitting down. The gap between her ethereal looks and the way she quietly sizes up the meal is pure comedy. The others keep glancing over like they are sharing dinner with a dangerous forest spirit. Close-ups catch the dark elf mid-conversation, that beautiful face giving nothing away while the old man inside is just trying to keep things civil and short. She is polite, measured, and already wondering how soon she can excuse herself. The people around her keep leaning in like every sentence is a revelation. Someone shows her a book or a keepsake, and the dark elf studies it with the careful attention of a man who used to read instruction manuals for fun. The little one nearby watches her like she is pure magic. Inside, our protagonist is just hoping this does not turn into another long explanation he has to pretend to care about. Then the kids take center stage, and suddenly the stunning dark elf is dealing with sticky fingers and big, curious eyes. She handles it with the resigned patience of someone who has survived office parties and family gatherings alike. The children have no clue their mysterious guest is mentally drafting an exit strategy the whole time. Back outside, the talk continues, and our middle-aged elf keeps that cool, slightly distant expression that makes everyone think she is deep and enigmatic. Really, she is just tired and quietly mapping the nearest quiet corner. Every nod and short reply only makes her seem more fascinating to the people around her. Out of nowhere, a big friendly beast shoves its face right into the frame, and the dark elf reacts with the exact energy of a guy who did not sign up for surprise animal affection today. She keeps her composure, of course, because looking flustered would only cause more attention. The kids think it is the best thing that has ever happened. Night settles over the little settlement, and the group gathers under the open sky. Our alluring dark elf sits among them, looking like a moonlit legend, while the middle-aged man inside is mostly grateful the day is finally winding down. Soft talk and quiet moments fill the air, and she lets it wash over her without adding extra drama. The children whisper among themselves about their papa and whatever worries are hanging over the family. The dark elf overhears just enough to understand this calm evening is sitting on top of real trouble. That practical old man brain starts turning even while she keeps her beautiful face perfectly unreadable. When morning light hits the trees, our middle-aged elf is already on the move through the forest. She walks with that graceful dark elf stride that makes every step look intentional and powerful. Inside, she is simply following the lead that might actually solve the problem so she can go back to wanting a quiet life. Deeper in the woods, she pauses among the greenery, that stunning profile turned upward like she is communing with nature itself. The truth is, the old man is just catching his breath and double-checking he has not gotten completely lost. Even alone, she still looks like she belongs on the cover of an epic tale. A figure appears through the trees, and the dark elf meets him with calm, measured words. Whatever information gets exchanged, she takes it in with the same steady focus she once used on late-night work reports. The forest around them stays quiet, but the stakes are clearly climbing. Left alone again, the dark elf stands in the filtered light and lets out the kind of quiet breath only a middle-aged man who has had enough surprises for one day can manage. She looks every bit the mysterious beauty the world keeps seeing. Inside, she is already bracing for whatever comes next. And that is where Chapter 15 leaves our reluctant dark elf hero, deeper into the woods, one step closer to trouble she never asked for, still just wanting a calm life that this beautiful body refuses to allow. Something bigger is waiting out there, and the old man inside is definitely going to have opinions about it. Chapter 16 drops us right into the middle of another perfectly ordinary headache for our dark elf. On the outside, everyone sees a stunning, mysterious beauty. On the inside, it is still just a grumpy, middle-aged man trying to keep his cool while the world refuses to leave him alone. The group is already deep in conversation, trading information and sideways glances. Our middle-aged elf listens with that familiar, tired patience, the kind that says he has sat through 1,000 pointless meetings and will sit through one more if it means a quiet life someday. More faces join the circle and the talk turns serious. The dark elf stands there looking every bit the dangerous, alluring figure they expect, while the old salaryman inside is mostly wondering how long this is going to take and whether anyone brought snacks. They finally step out into the open and the destination comes into view. Welcome to the holy nation of Lagriel, a place of grand buildings, bright skies, and absolutely zero chance our protagonist is going to blend in. The dark elf takes it all in with that calm, elegant posture everyone mistakes for quiet power. Inside, the middle-aged man is already calculating how many stairs these holy buildings probably have and whether his new back can handle them. A carriage rolls up and the group piles in. Our alluring dark elf settles into the seat like royalty, while the old man behind the eyes just appreciates not having to walk. Small victories. They arrive and the locals are already staring. Two well-dressed figures greet them with the kind of polite formality that makes the middle-aged man inside want to loosen a tie he no longer has. Explanations are exchanged and the dark elf plays along, nodding at all the right moments. Nobody suspects the person they are trying to impress is mentally drafting a grocery list and wishing for a quiet cup of tea. Then comes a moment of unexpected closeness. The dark elf leans in toward one of the companions and the poor guy looks ready to short circuit. Our middle-aged protagonist is simply checking something practical, but the face and body language sell pure fantasy novel tension. The group moves on through the streets toward a grand building that looks important enough to cause paperwork. The dark elf walks with effortless grace while the old man inside silently hopes this is the last stop of the day. They reach the entrance and someone knocks. Inside, a couple of serious-looking fellows are mid-conversation when the sound interrupts them. Knock, knock. The holy nation is about to get a visitor it is not ready for. The door flies open with a dramatic bam, and every head snaps toward the entrance. Whatever quiet afternoon these people had planned is officially over. The whole party stands there, framed in the doorway like they own the place. Our dark elf is front and center, looking every inch the mysterious and dangerous beauty the world keeps assuming she is. And then it happens. The dark elf strikes a full dramatic pose, hair flowing, presence overwhelming, and the words ring out clear. Dark elf. The room has no idea that the person delivering this legendary entrance is a middle-aged man who mostly just wants everyone to calm down and maybe offer a chair. The gap between the stunning figure in the doorway and the tired old soul running the show has never been wider, and the holy nation of Lagriel has just been introduced to both at once. Something tells me their quiet, holy routines are about to get a lot more interesting. Chapter 17 kicks off with our alluring dark elf already deep in conversation, that perfect mysterious beauty drawing every eye in the room. On the inside, of course, it is still a tired middle-aged man just trying to keep the day simple. The people around Sherry have no idea the calm elegance they are staring at belongs to someone who mostly wants a quiet afternoon and zero drama. The chatter picks up fast, companions lean in, voices overlapping, and suddenly the whole group is buzzing with plans. Our middle-aged elf listens with that polite half-smile, already calculating how much walking this is going to involve and whether anyone packed snacks. Excitement hits critical mass, swords come out, fists pump, and someone is already yelling about heading straight into trouble. Sherry stands there looking like a legendary dark elf warrior ready for glory, while the old salaryman inside is quietly wondering if it is too late to fake a headache. The party rolls out together, all bright energy and big talk. Our dark elf keeps pace with that effortless grace everyone finds so captivating. Internally, the middle-aged man is already mapping the shortest route home and hoping this little adventure stays nice and boring. They reach the open ground and the mood shifts. Sherry raises a staff, the group spreading out like they actually know what they are doing. The beautiful dark elf exterior looks ready to command the battlefield. The guy running the show is mostly hoping nobody expects a heroic speech. Then the magic starts flying. Light erupts, the staff crackles, and suddenly our middle-aged elf is the center of a very flashy display. Everyone else sees raw power and mystery. He is just trying not to pull something while aiming. A single boot sits abandoned on the ground, the kind of tiny detail that makes the whole scene feel real. Sherry stares at it with that unreadable dark elf calm. Inside, the old man is already muttering about how nothing good ever follows a random shoe in the dirt. Chaos explodes. The dark elf is airborne, cloak whipping, magic surging in every direction while the rest of the party scrambles. To any bystander, it looks like a graceful, lethal dance. To the middle-aged man stuck in the middle of it, it feels like the universe personally canceled his quiet day. And there it is, a massive winged shape tears through the sky, big enough to blot out the light. The whole group freezes for half a second. Our alluring dark elf looks every bit the legendary fighter about to face it down, while the salaryman's soul inside is already writing a very long complaint letter in his head. The fight is pure mayhem. Someone shouts, "Stop!" Someone else yelps, and Sherry is right in the thick of it, staff flashing as the creature thrashes. The beautiful exterior never cracks. The middle-aged man running the controls is just trying to keep all limbs attached and finish this before dinner gets cold. When the dust settles, the dark elf stands there catching a breath, hand pressed to a temple like the world's most elegant migraine is arriving. That perfect face still looks mysterious and composed. Inside, it is pure middle-aged exhaustion and the deep desire for a chair. A quiet moment follows with a young woman in a dark dress. Sherry speaks calmly, the picture of dark elf poise. The old man underneath is simply glad the giant flying problem is over and hoping the next conversation stays short. Then the tone softens completely. Standing under a wide sky, our dark elf looks at a quiet young boy and offers a name at last. "My name is Sherry Fellsgate." The alluring exterior makes it sound like destiny. The middle-aged man inside just wants the kid to know he is not actually some grand legendary figure. The boy lights up, all wide eyes and polite excitement, while Sherry answers with gentle patience. "Nice to meet you," the dark elf says, looking for all the world like a mysterious mentor. Behind that perfect face, the old salaryman is already fretting about whether this child is about to drag him into even more responsibility. The chapter closes on the boy's face, serious and thoughtful, as if something important just clicked into place. Whatever he is planning next, our middle-aged elf has no idea it is coming. One quiet introduction, and the gap between that stunning dark elf image and the tired man inside is about to get a whole lot more complicated. Chapter 18 picks up with our alluring dark elf right in the middle of a lively little gathering, and every single person in the room is hanging on that mysterious beauty's every word. On the outside, it looks like some ancient, elegant elf holding court. On the inside, just a middle-aged man trying to keep the conversation moving so he can get back to peace and quiet. The blonde companion keeps the questions coming, and our dark elf answers with that calm, worldly tone everyone finds so captivating. What they do not realize is that this is pure salaryman autopilot. Keep it short, keep it polite, and do not volunteer extra overtime. One sharp glance from that flawless dark elf face and the whole room goes quiet. The gap is hilarious. Everyone sees danger and allure. The old man inside is just wondering how long until he can sit down and rest his back. More chatter follows, complete with the usual wide-eyed reactions to everything the dark elf says. Our middle-aged protagonist nods along, delivering practical answers while silently calculating the fastest exit from this social event. Finally, they step outside into the bustling streets, and the dark elf's striking figure immediately draws every eye on the road. The old man in there just wants to walk without becoming the main attraction of the afternoon. A white-haired fellow falls into step and starts a serious conversation. Our dark elf listens with perfect composure, but inside, the middle-aged man is already sorting the talk into useful information and things that will waste my time. Next up is a polished blonde gentleman who seems very eager to offer help or advice. The dark elf stays polite and distant. That cool beauty act is actually just a tired old man who has zero interest in getting tangled in anyone else's plans. Another intense-looking guy tries his luck at conversation, leaning in with big energy. Our dark elf shuts it down with a few calm words. The alluring exterior makes it look mysterious. Inside, it is pure, I am too old for this nonsense energy. The group keeps moving through town, and the dark elf ends up fielding yet more attention from every direction. That gorgeous face is a magnet. The middle-aged soul steering it just wants a quiet corner and maybe a snack. Out on the open street, the stares only get worse. People pause, whisper, and gawk at the stunning dark elf strolling past. Our protagonist keeps walking like none of it matters, because to the old man inside, it really does not. A quieter moment arrives as the dark elf settles somewhere calmer, still looking every bit the elegant mystery. The blonde companion sticks close, and for once the middle-aged man might actually get a breather. Turns out this is the dark elf's first real shopping trip in this new world, and the practical old man brain is already treating it like a supply run. Match the clothes to the climate, keep it simple, do not overspend. Classic salaryman priorities. The blonde girl lights up the second she spots something she wants, pure excitement written all over her face. Our dark elf watches with that serene expression, while the middle-aged man inside quietly braces for the inevitable "can we get it" negotiation. Of course, the crowd has not forgotten the beautiful dark elf. More eyes, more whispers, more people lingering just to get a look. The old man sighs on the inside and keeps the cloak close, wishing for once that this body came with a lower profile setting. Back in a quieter spot, the dark elf and the blonde companion settle in for a proper talk. The girl is full of energy and questions. Our middle-aged elf answers with patient, practical wisdom that somehow still sounds ancient and cool coming from that face. Chapter 19 finds our middle-aged dark elf still stuck in the most inconveniently gorgeous body in the kingdom, trying to handle a simple indoor chat like it is just another long shift. Everyone else sees a mysterious beauty. Inside, it is pure salaryman patience running on empty. The conversation spills into a cluttered shop packed with books and odd trinkets. Our dark elf stands there looking every bit the elegant traveler while quietly calculating how much this is going to cost in time and trouble. Soon, the middle-aged elf is seated across from a sharp-eyed woman, trading careful words over the table. The face is pure, alluring, dark elf mystery. The vibe is pure, tired office worker who just wants the meeting to end. A long-haired figure leans in with big questions and bigger expectations. Our protagonist answers with that calm, practical tone that never quite matches the stunning exterior everyone keeps staring at. The talk turns lighter for a moment, and that beautiful face actually softens into something almost friendly. Inside, the old man is just relieved the conversation is finally moving somewhere useful. Then the chapter drops a big, dramatic illustration full of swirling magic and distant figures. Our dark elf studies it with the focused squint of a man who has seen too many confusing PowerPoint slides in his previous life. Outside, things get loud fast. Someone goes flying in a burst of chaos while our middle-aged elf watches the whole mess unfold with the weary expression of a guy who just wanted a quiet afternoon. That perfect dark elf face twists into pure shock. On the outside, it looks fierce and dangerous. On the inside, it is pure middle-aged man, realizing the day is about to get a lot more complicated. A serious talk follows with a hooded figure who clearly has no idea he is dealing with a grumpy old soul in a stunning package. Our elf keeps the answers short and practical, the way only a lifetime of office politics can teach. The glare that comes next could melt steel. Everyone around sees a terrifying dark elf beauty. What they are actually getting is a middle-aged man who has officially run out of patience for nonsense. More careful words are exchanged with a bright-eyed companion who keeps looking at our elf like the answer to every mystery. The old man inside just wants clear information and a chance to sit down. The scene shifts outdoors under a wide sky. People talk in the distance while our alluring dark elf stands off to the side, already planning the quickest route back to something resembling peace and quiet. For one rare moment, that beautiful face lights up with genuine interest. The middle-aged man inside has spotted something that actually sounds useful, and for once the expression matches the mood. Soon the dark elf is strolling through town with a small group, looking every bit the elegant traveler. Inside, it is pure practical calculation. Keep moving, stay polite, and maybe this day will end without more drama. A well-armed stranger steps up with questions and that familiar look of someone completely dazzled by the dark elf exterior. Our middle-aged hero answers with the calm of a man who has dealt with far worse bosses. The group conversation continues under the trees, everyone hanging on the dark elf's every word. None of them realize the person steering the chat just wants a normal life and a decent cup of tea. Meanwhile, away from the main group, two figures lean in close with a quiet question that hangs in the air. Are you ready? Whatever they are planning, our middle-aged dark elf has no idea it is coming yet. Chapter 20 opens right in the middle of the usual problem. Our dark elf walks into a room and every head turns, because that alluring face and those sharp ears still scream mystery and danger to everyone watching. On the inside, though, it is still just a tired middle-aged man who would rather the staring stop so he can figure out what is going on. The reactions keep coming thick and fast. People lean in, whisper, and openly gawk like they have never seen anyone this striking before. Our middle-aged elf just stands there with the internal sigh of a salaryman who showed up to the wrong meeting and now has to power through it. Kathy jumps into the conversation, trying to steer things while Galdi looks on with that mix of curiosity and caution. The dark elf listens with the polite patience of someone who has sat through 100 office briefings and just wants the point already. Kathy and Galdi keep trading questions, clearly trying to make sense of the beautiful stranger in front of them. What they do not realize is that the stranger is mostly thinking about how long this is going to take and whether there will be somewhere quiet afterward. Relief floods the room as someone admits they are just glad everyone is safe. Our dark elf nods along, playing the mysterious beauty, while the middle-aged man inside is simply glad the dramatic part seems to be winding down. Disbelief still hangs in the air. Galdi and the others keep circling back to how impossible this all feels, while the old man in the elf body quietly files it under another day, another headache I did not ask for. Even when pressed, the dark elf answers with that calm, measured tone that never quite matches the alluring exterior. Inside, it is pure middle-aged practicality. No point arguing when you can just move the conversation somewhere less exhausting. Finally, someone suggests food, and you can almost hear the salaryman's soul light up. Sitting down to a proper meal is the first sensible idea anyone has had all chapter, and our dark elf is not about to argue with that. Around the table, the talk continues, Kathy and Galdi still trying to place this elegant dark elf who somehow feels both dangerous and oddly approachable. The middle-aged man just focuses on the plates in front of him like any tired adult who knows priorities. Galdi offers a proper introduction with a warm smile, clearly deciding the mysterious beauty is worth knowing. Our dark elf returns the courtesy, all graceful exterior, while the old man inside files the name away for later, like a business card he might need. The meal keeps rolling and the conversation loosens up. Everyone else is still half starstruck by the dark elf's looks, but the person wearing them is mostly relieved the food is good and the chairs are decent. Bites of delicious food finally win the day. For a brief moment, the alluring dark elf simply looks content, which is really just a middle-aged man enjoying a solid meal without anyone demanding anything complicated from him. Then a piece of paper appears and the peaceful mood shifts. Our dark elf examines it with the careful frown of someone who has opened one too many unexpected work memos and already senses trouble. New faces join the table, including a lively beastkin who seems ready to drag everyone into whatever comes next. The dark elf stays composed, but inside, the middle-aged man is already bracing for the quiet life to get interrupted again. The beastkin leans in with pure energy while the others watch the dark elf for a reaction. That perfect, alluring face gives nothing away, which only makes the gap funnier. Everyone expects mystery and power, and what they are actually dealing with is a guy who just wanted to finish lunch in peace. Whatever that paper and this new arrival are about, it is clearly not going to stay simple. Our middle-aged elf has food in his stomach and a fresh set of complications on the horizon, and next time we will see just how long that calm salaryman patience can last. Chapter 21 opens on our alluring dark elf still stuck living every day with the thoroughly practical brain of a middle-aged salaryman. The group is gathered and already deep in conversation, and you can practically feel the old man inside sighing at whatever fresh nonsense the morning has brought. Talk turns to some kind of darkened event or job offer that has everyone looking serious. Our middle-aged elf listens with that familiar, weary expression, the one that says he would rather be home with a quiet cup of tea than signing up for more fantasy world trouble. Close-ups fly as the discussion heats up. The dark elf's beautiful face stays calm and mysterious to everyone watching, but inside the old man is already calculating the safest, least exhausting way through whatever this is. Enter the cat-eared companion, fretting over messy hair and looking every bit the adorable fantasy creature. Our protagonist watches the fuss with pure middle-aged patience, the kind that has seen every office drama and is not impressed by a bad hair day. Then comes the classic mix-up. Someone casually refers to the cat-eared traveler as a wife, and the reaction is instant. The old man in the dark elf body can only watch the chaos unfold with that quiet, knowing amusement. The cat-eared one plants both feet and declares loud and clear, "I'm a man." The sheer earnestness of it is comedy gold, especially while our stunning dark elf stands there looking like the last person who should be mediating gender confusion. Somehow the morning still has to move forward, so it is straight into breakfast prep. The cat-eared traveler digs in while our middle-aged elf handles the practical side of things, because someone in this body has to keep the day on schedule. A quiet moment settles between the dark elf and the big bearded companion. The old man inside offers the kind of steady, no-nonsense talk that only years of real-world experience can produce, even while looking like a dangerous beauty. The group heads out under the trees, the dark elf walking with that graceful stride everyone else finds captivating. Inside, it is pure middle-aged focus. Keep moving, stay out of trouble, and maybe finish this errand before sunset. A sudden rattle cuts through the calm. Someone has an idea, the kind that usually means the old man in the elf body is about to get dragged into more nonsense than he bargained for. And there it is, the classic thump. The cat-eared traveler goes down in a heap, leaving the bearded companion staring in pure shock while our dark elf processes the latest round of slapstick with long-suffering patience. The bearded warrior cannot hold it in any longer and bursts into laughter. Even the middle-aged soul inside the dark elf has to admit the timing was perfect, though he would never say it out loud. A quieter beat follows as someone gazes up at the sky and a drifting butterfly. For a second, the whole group just breathes, and our protagonist gets that rare middle-aged wish for 5 uninterrupted minutes of peace. Back indoors, conversation turns personal. The dark elf's alluring presence draws every eye, yet the old man inside is simply trying to follow the thread and keep everyone from making the day more complicated than it already is. Outside again, plans are laid, and someone casually drops the words, "I have a date." Our middle-aged elf hears it, and you can almost feel the internal double take, because nothing in a tired salaryman's life ever prepared him for fantasy world dating talk. With the group moving forward and new social complications already circling, the old man in the stunning dark elf body can only brace himself. Whatever comes next, it is definitely not going to be the quiet life he keeps hoping for. Chapter 22 opens on pure relief. Our alluring dark elf is checking on someone and looking every bit the graceful, concerned beauty the world expects. Inside, though, it is pure middle-aged man energy, glad everyone is still standing and already calculating the fastest route home to a quiet chair. The companions are still buzzing from whatever mess they just survived. Our dark elf listens with that serene half-smile, while the old salaryman brain underneath is already filing the whole adventure under "never again if I can help it." Practical mode fully engages. There is talk of rewards, loose ends, and who still needs looking after. The gorgeous exterior stays calm and mysterious. The interior is just a tired guy trying to wrap up the paperwork so he can clock out. Money changes hands, and our dark elf waves it off like it is nothing. Classic middle-aged move. Take care of the bill, refuse the fuss, and keep everyone moving. The others see noble generosity. He just wants the transaction finished. That soft, beautiful smile appears again as the group insists they can handle the rest. Inside, the old man is already halfway out the door in his mind. Leave it to the young ones. He has earned a quiet night. Night settles over the city, and the long day finally catches up. Our dark elf stands by the window, looking ethereal and thoughtful. The reality is simpler, back aching, patience gone, and the only quest left is finding a bed. Even the room number feels like one more chore. Companions hover with concern, while our middle-aged elf keeps repeating that everything is fine. He knows, he just wants the door closed and the lights out. A quieter conversation unfolds. Someone is clearly worried about being left behind or forgotten. The dark elf offers calm reassurance, but the old man inside is mostly trying to keep the emotional temperature low so everyone can get some sleep. Under the stars, the mood turns unexpectedly tender. Promises of never leaving anyone alone again float through the night air. Our protagonist plays the part of the steadfast beauty perfectly, even while mentally scheduling tomorrow's escape from all this drama. Then a letter appears and the tone shifts. Faces grow serious as the words sink in. Whatever is written there clearly matters to the people who knew this dark elf before a certain middle-aged man took the wheel. And there it is, a genuine childhood friend, someone who looks at this stunning dark elf and sees years of shared history. Our old man has no idea who this person is, but he is about to get a crash course in a life he never lived. Out on the balcony, the two of them share a quiet moment. A simple "yeah" carries a lot of weight when one side remembers everything and the other is just trying not to blow the cover of a very confused salaryman. Suddenly, the calm breaks. There is a scramble, a grab, a heart-stopping second where someone almost takes a bad fall. Our dark elf reacts with perfect grace while the middle-aged reflexes underneath are pure panic and not on my watch. Everyone ends up in a relieved tangle of limbs and laughter. "I'm fine" gets repeated like a mantra. The beautiful dark elf is the calm center of the group hug, even as the old man inside silently vows to avoid balconies for the rest of the week. Promises are made to get everyone home safely, but first things first. Our dark elf turns and walks off into the night with that elegant stride. Inside, the only mission left is finding a pillow before the next wave of trouble finds them. A childhood friend has just stepped back into the picture, and our middle-aged elf has zero context for any of it. Something tells me tomorrow's quiet rest is already canceled. The gap between that stunning face and the grumpy old soul behind it is about to get a lot more complicated. Chapter 23 kicks off with our alluring dark elf already in motion, cloak flaring as the party charges forward. On the outside, it looks like a mysterious beauty leading the charge, On the inside, it is still a tired, middle-aged man who just wants this whole adventure over with so he can sit down. The group is buzzing with pre-battle chatter, everyone hyped and ready. Our dark elf listens with that calm, elegant face while the old salaryman brain underneath quietly calculates how much walking this is going to involve. They talk strategy and the mood stays light, almost like a workplace pep talk gone fantasy. The dark elf nods along, looking every bit the composed leader, while inside he is already wishing someone would just hand him a quiet desk and a warm drink. Then the real problem shows up. A massive dark beast looms over the landscape, all horns and menace, and suddenly the calm middle-aged plans for a normal day are officially cancelled. Up close, the creature is pure nightmare fuel, jaws wide and ready. Everyone else sees a legendary threat. Our dark elf sees overtime nobody asked for. The party scrambles into position, shouting and bracing. The dark elf stays cool on the surface, but you can almost hear the old man sighing about how nothing in this world ever stays simple. Orders fly back and forth as they try to lock down a plan. Our middle-aged elf weighs every option with the same practical mindset he used to bring to office meetings, only now the stakes involve giant fangs instead of spreadsheets. A quiet resolve settles over that beautiful face. He agrees to the plan because of course he does. Somebody has to keep this circus from falling apart, and today that somebody happens to look like a stunning dark elf. The group fans out across the open ground, weapons ready and nerves high. From a distance, they look like a proper adventuring party. Up close, one of them is still mentally complaining about the lack of chairs. Tension spikes as the beast closes in and the first real clash begins. Our dark elf moves with perfect grace while the middle-aged mind inside is just trying to make sure nobody does anything stupid. The fight turns chaotic fast. Allies shout, the ground shakes, and through it all, the dark elf keeps that unreadable calm that makes everyone else think they are following a legendary warrior instead of a guy who wants a nap. In the middle of the mess, our dark elf strikes a confident pose that would make any onlooker swoon. Inside, it is pure middle-aged determination mixed with the quiet hope that this ends before his new back starts complaining. A sharp-eyed companion flashes a knowing grin, clearly impressed by the dark elf's cool under pressure. If only he knew the cool is mostly just an old man refusing to let the day get any more ridiculous. Chapter 24 opens with the whole party packing up and getting ready to move out. Our alluring dark elf stands there looking every bit the mysterious beauty, while on the inside the middle-aged man is just hoping this trip stays quiet for once. They head out across the open countryside, the group chatting as they walk. Everyone else sees a graceful dark elf gliding along. What they actually have is a tired salaryman already calculating how many more miles until he can sit down. Next thing you know, they are all digging, shovels out, dirt flying, and our middle-aged elf is right there in the middle of it, looking elegant while internally grumbling about free labor and sore shoulders. The conversation keeps rolling while they work. The gap between the dark elf's cool, alluring exterior and the practical old man commentary happening inside never stops being funny. One of the younger girls lights up with pure excitement, bouncing on her feet as she talks. Our dark elf just stares back with that calm, beautiful face that hides a man who has seen too many workplace meetings to get worked up over anything. The middle-aged man inside tries to keep things grounded, offering the kind of dry, no-nonsense reply only a guy who used to live for quiet evenings could deliver. The others hang on every word like it is ancient dark elf wisdom. The day stretches on and the scenery turns softer, almost peaceful. For a second, it looks like our dark elf might actually get the calm stretch of road the old man inside has been craving. Quiet talk continues as they settle. The redhead and the dark elf trade a few lines, and once again, everyone is reading deep mystery into what is basically a middle-aged man making small talk so the day will end sooner. More of the group joins in, and the Dark Elf's beautiful, composed expression never cracks. Inside, the salaryman is just writing out another round of fantasy world chatter the same way he used to write out long meetings. Suddenly, the mood shifts and our Dark Elf is on guard, that elegant frame ready for trouble. The middle-aged man inside is already sighing about how nothing stays simple for long. A calmer beat follows as they talk things through. Even when the conversation turns serious, the old man in the elf's body keeps that practical, world-weary filter on everything he hears. Someone finally suggests they relax, and you can almost hear the middle-aged man cheering on the inside. A quiet moment is all he has wanted since waking up in this impossibly beautiful body. Of course, the forest has other plans. A deer steps into view, calm and curious, and the whole group freezes like they have just spotted treasure. More wildlife appears between the trees, and suddenly everyone is whispering and pointing. Our Dark Elf looks like a forest spirit surveying her domain, while the man inside is just hoping these animals stay friendly. That hope lasts about 3 seconds. The animals surge, the group scatters, and pure chaos erupts through the trees as our alluring Dark Elf gets swept right into the middle of it. In one dramatic instant, the Dark Elf is framed against the stampede, looking every bit the legendary warrior. Inside, the middle-aged man is having the exact opposite of a calm day, and whatever happens next is going to be anything but quiet. Chapter 25 drops us straight into the chaos. Our alluring Dark Elf is already in the thick of a messy fight, cloak flying and fists swinging like this is just another Tuesday. Everyone else sees a lethal, beautiful warrior. Inside, it is still a tired, middle-aged man wondering why fantasy worlds never come with proper lunch breaks. The scrap gets louder fast. Blades flash, bodies tumble, and our Dark Elf keeps moving with that impossible elegance that makes every onlooker forget to breathe. The old salaryman running the show is mostly focused on not slipping and looking ridiculous in front of the whole battlefield. A quick breather hits between the swings. Our Dark Elf ends up face to face with a stunned companion while magic crystals spark nearby, looking every bit the mysterious savior. Internally, the middle-aged man is just checking whether anyone brought snacks after all this nonsense. Then the big hit lands. A massive impact rocks the area, and our Dark Elf stands at the center of it like some legendary figure out of a painting. The gap has never been funnier. The world sees pure Dark Elf power, while the guy inside is quietly hoping that was the last round of overtime for the day. More action erupts right after. Someone goes flying with a solid smash while our Dark Elf cuts through the remaining trouble with that signature alluring calm. The middle-aged man is already calculating how many hot baths this body is going to need once the dust settles. The fight finally cools and the real comedy begins. Our Dark Elf turns those striking features toward a flustered young man, and the poor guy looks completely starstruck. He has no idea the person staring back is mentally drafting a complaint about fantasy world work hours. They end up extremely close. The young man stammers out a name that sounds like Haru, while our Dark Elf leans in with that naturally captivating presence. Inside, the old man is just trying to figure out personal space rules in this new body without making everything weirder. The moment softens down by the water, hands meet, eyes lock, and the whole scene looks like the start of some sweeping romance. Our middle-aged elf is mostly thinking about how cold the water is and whether this counts as unpaid emotional labor. Then comes an unexpected embrace with another companion. From the outside, it is pure Dark Elf charm wrapping someone up in comfort. On the inside, a grumpy salaryman is patting a shoulder and silently wishing people would stop treating him like a mystical big sister. Back by the water's edge, the conversation continues. Our Dark Elf stands tall and graceful beside the young man, while the scenery does half the romantic work for free. The old man inside is just glad nobody is asking him to run anywhere for the next 5 minutes. A bright smile breaks across that beautiful face, and the young man looks absolutely floored by the simple word yes. Everyone around reads it as mysterious affection. Our middle-aged elf is simply relieved the talk is finally heading somewhere practical. The group piles on with more questions and reactions. Panels fill with surprised faces and rapid chatter, while our dark elf stays the calm center of attention. The salaryman brain is already sorting everyone into the needs a nap and needs a reality check categories. They move out into the open again. Our dark elf walks ahead of the little party like a legendary guide straight out of a storybook. Inside, it is pure middle-aged energy. Keep the group together, avoid extra trouble, and maybe find a quiet spot before something else explodes. Of course, something else explodes. Energy rips across the scene, and our dark elf is right back in motion, looking every bit the untouchable beauty in the middle of the blast. The old man is mostly annoyed that the universe still has not learned the meaning of a calm afternoon. When the dust settles again, the group gathers close. Our dark elf stands with two companions, that alluring presence making the whole moment feel important. Internally, the middle-aged man is doing a quick head count and hoping this is finally the end of the day's surprises. Then everything goes quiet under the trees. Our dark elf looks up into the leaves as a soft voice asks if anyone can hear it, and the answer comes back clear. That beautiful face stays perfectly composed, but the old man inside just realized the day is nowhere near over. Chapter 26 picks up with our dark elf still stuck in the middle of other people's drama, and the middle-aged man inside is already exhausted. Conversations swirl around plans and surprises while he just stands there looking mysterious and gorgeous. On the inside, he is calculating how soon he can sit down and stop being the center of attention. Someone is sprawled out with a book while the group frets nearby. Our dark elf leans in with that perfect, concerned expression everyone finds so captivating. The salaryman brain is mostly wondering why no one ever just takes a quiet break around here. The whole party clusters together, voices overlapping with worry and excitement. From the outside, it looks like a dramatic fantasy huddle led by an elegant dark elf. Inside, he is silently clocking every raised voice like overtime he never signed up for. Explanations fly back and forth, and someone can barely believe what they are hearing. Our middle-aged elf keeps that cool, alluring poker face the entire time. He has survived worse office meetings than this, but the body keeps selling pure mystery. A quieter moment hits as the dark elf talks one-on-one, looking every bit the dangerous beauty. The man inside is just trying to steer the chat towards something practical. Of course, the other person hangs on every word like it is destiny. The blonde companion lights up completely, practically vibrating about the adventure ahead. Our dark elf listens with that serene half-smile that makes hearts race. Internally, he is already budgeting the energy this trip is going to cost him. More details get hashed out, and the group starts locking in their next move. The dark elf contributes just enough to keep things moving without volunteering for extra chaos. That middle-aged caution is the only thing stopping this party from charging straight into trouble. The blonde keeps bouncing ideas off the dark elf, who answers with calm, measured replies. Everyone sees a wise and alluring companion offering guidance. They have no idea it is a tired old man trying to keep the plan simple and the walking to a minimum. Then comes the big reaction. The blonde freezes with a classic "but what?" as the latest wrinkle lands. Our dark elf stays composed, already bracing for whatever new headache just got added to the itinerary. They step out into the open and the crowd notices immediately. Whispers ripple through the street the second people lay eyes on the dark elf. The middle-aged man inside feels every stare like a spotlight he never asked for. He keeps walking with perfect posture and that effortless grace, leaving a trail of stunned onlookers behind. To them, it is pure dark elf elegance gliding through town. To him, it is just putting one foot in front of the other and hoping nobody starts a conversation. A sharp-eyed swordsman with twin blades locks onto the sight and cannot look away. The dark elf glances back with cool curiosity, completely unaware of the effect. Inside, he is already sighing about yet another person who is going to make this complicated. The moment stretches as the swordsman stares like he has just seen a legend step out of a storybook. Our dark elf simply turns and keeps moving, practical as ever. That gap between the breathtaking exterior and the grumbly interior has never been wider. Even the companions notice the effect. One of them admits he cannot look away and calls it a beauty that could stop a war. The middle-aged man trapped in the elf body hears all of this and just wants the ground to open up so he can go home. The group tries to regroup and make sense of the sudden attention swirling around their dark elf companion. He answers their questions with the same calm tone, already plotting the fastest route to somewhere quiet. Being this beautiful is turning into a full-time job he never applied for. Finally, a small breather appears and the dark elf settles in, looking every bit the elegant traveler. The man inside is just grateful for a second to sit and process the latest round of stares, but with a swordsman that captivated still out there, peace is probably not staying long. Chapter 27 drops us straight into a noisy gathering of adventurers who have no idea the stunning dark elf in their midst is actually a tired, middle-aged man just trying to keep his head down. Everyone else is loud and dramatic while our protagonist stands there looking impossibly alluring and mysterious, silently wishing for a quiet cup of tea instead of whatever this is. The conversation gets heated fast as the group trades sharp looks and bigger claims. Our dark elf watches the whole circus with the weary patience of someone who has sat through too many pointless office meetings, already calculating how long until this wraps up. Then one loud guy with wild hair decides it is time for a full-power boast, grinning like he just won the lottery. The middle-aged soul inside the dark elf body can only stare, thinking this is exactly the kind of energy that used to drain him back in his old life. Outside, the group keeps rolling as a guy in a hat lays out the next plan with total confidence. Our alluring dark elf trails along looking every bit the dangerous beauty, while inside he is just a salaryman wondering why no one ever schedules these things after lunch. Someone suddenly points the spotlight right at our protagonist with a casual me moment that freezes the air. The dark elf's perfect face stays cool and unreadable, but the old man running the show is already bracing for whatever nonsense is about to land on him. Things get uncomfortably close when one of the guys leans right into the dark elf's personal space, faces almost touching. Everyone sees a mysterious beauty caught in a tense moment. What they are actually getting is a middle-aged man internally screaming about personal boundaries and bad backs. The mood flips when a couple of wide-eyed kids spot a mysterious bag and start swarming with pure curiosity. Our dark elf watches the little chaos unfold like a tired uncle who just wants everyone to settle down and stop making a scene. Back with the main group, explanations fly and fingers point while our protagonist stays mostly silent. That gorgeous dark elf exterior keeps drawing every eye, yet the only thing happening inside is a quiet middle-aged sigh about how complicated simple conversations always become. The talk turns serious as someone lays out hard truths and the whole circle leans in. Our middle-aged elf listens with the practiced patience of a man who has survived decades of workplace drama, already planning his exit strategy. Then comes the big reaction. One guy locks eyes with the dark elf and blurts out a stunned, "Who are you?" The perfect face stays calm and alluring. Inside, the old man is just hoping this does not turn into another long introduction he will have to fake his way through. With the tension still hanging, our dark elf ends up carrying the bag and heading out, little followers trailing behind. He moves with that natural, elegant grace everyone finds captivating, while mentally complaining about how heavy luggage always finds him no matter what body he is in. New faces appear on the path, including someone with distinctive animal ears who seems ready for trouble or a chat. The dark elf's beauty instantly becomes the center of attention again, and the middle-aged soul inside can already feel another social battery drain coming on. A close-up catches one determined face locking in with total seriousness, the kind of look that means big decisions are about to drop. Our protagonist meets it with that cool dark elf stare that hides nothing but a grumpy old man wishing people would just email their intentions instead. The chapter winds down with a quiet but loaded exchange about going somewhere and finding someone at a place called Kuri. Our alluring dark elf agrees with perfect composure, while the middle-aged man inside is already dreading the travel and the inevitable new headaches waiting ahead. And just like that, the group starts moving again, the beautiful dark elf once more stuck at the center of everyone else's plans. The old soul inside can only brace himself, because if this chapter taught him anything, it is that a quiet life is still very far away. Next time, the road to Kuri is going to test exactly how long a middle-aged man can keep pretending he belongs in this gorgeous dark elf body before the next wave of trouble finds him. You are not going to want to miss the chaos that follows. Chapter 28 opens with our alluring dark elf already stuck in the middle of a very serious-looking conversation. Everyone else sees a mysterious, dangerous beauty who clearly knows something important. Inside that gorgeous head, though, is still a tired, middle-aged man who just wants the meeting to end so he can go find a quiet corner. Then the dark elf stands up and casually hefts something enormous, like it weighs nothing. The room freezes. To them, it looks like pure dark elf power and elegance. To the old man running the show, it is just another annoying, heavy thing he has to deal with today. The group keeps talking, throwing questions and worried looks her way. Our middle-aged elf answers with that calm, slightly grumpy practicality that never matches the stunning face delivering the lines. The gap is already doing comedy work. Things get physical for a second and bodies go flying in every direction. The dark elf barely seems bothered. On the inside, the salaryman is just sighing about how much extra trouble this body keeps attracting. A hooded figure appears in the chaos and the whole mood shifts. People scramble while our dark elf simply watches with that unreadable, beautiful face. The middle-aged man inside is already calculating the fastest way back to peace and quiet. The dust settles into more talking and pointing. Everyone treats the dark elf like some legendary beauty who just saved the day. She is mostly wondering when she can sit down and rest her new back. Outside at last, the dark elf walks with the others through the streets. Passers-by stare at the alluring figure. The old man inside is just glad to be moving again and hoping no one starts another dramatic conversation. More companions join the chat and the questions keep coming. The dark elf answers with short, practical replies that somehow still sound mysterious and cool. The salaryman brain is running on pure efficiency mode. Close-up faces get intense as someone presses for answers. The beautiful dark elf features stay perfectly composed. Inside, the middle-aged man is already tired of the whole performance and just wants everyone to get to the point. They step out to a wide open view and the conversation turns quieter. Two figures stand against the landscape while the dark elf listens with that elegant stillness. The old man is quietly enjoying the fresh air more than the talk. The group keeps going, voices rising and falling with worry and hope. Every eye keeps drifting back to the alluring dark elf like she holds all the answers. She is mostly hoping this ends before her feet start complaining. Surprise hits a few faces hard when the dark elf drops another calm, no-nonsense line. They hear wisdom from a legendary beauty. He is just stating the obvious, the way any middle-aged man would after a long day. The tone turns heavier in the shadows. Serious words get exchanged and the swordsman looks ready for anything. Our dark elf stays cool on the surface while the old man inside quietly files this under more trouble I did not ask for. Out on the street, the swordsman glances back one last time, face full of resolve and questions. The dark elf has already started walking. That perfect silhouette looks like a heroine heading toward destiny. Inside, it is just a middle-aged man finally getting some space. She keeps walking until she is only a lone figure against the buildings, leaving everyone else behind with their assumptions. The beautiful dark elf disappears into the evening while the old man inside is already planning the quietest night possible. Next chapter, that hard-won calm is probably not going to last. Chapter 29 opens on our stunning dark elf lost in thought, looking every bit the mysterious beauty the world expects. Inside, though, it is pure middle-aged practicality grinding away, weighing options like a tired salaryman staring at next week's schedule. Something big is brewing, and that calm exterior is about to get pulled straight into the noise. The conversation around the table is tense and full of half-finished ideas. Everyone else sees an alluring dark elf who might be plotting something grand. What they are actually getting is a grumbly old man trying to keep things simple and avoid unnecessary drama. A close look at that beautiful face shows pure focus, the kind that makes people hold their breath. Behind the eyes, our middle-aged elf is just running the numbers and deciding the least troublesome path forward. The gap between the look and the mindset is already doing comedy work. Questions fly, and our dark elf plays it cool, insisting nothing unusual is going on. Classic middle-aged man move: deflect, stay practical, and hope everyone drops the subject. Of course, in this body, even a casual shrug looks like high drama. Then the decision lands. The dark elf announces a trip to the arena because the tournament is starting, and that is that. Inside, it is less about glory and more about getting the whole messy situation over with so life can go back to quiet. Friends push back, asking about the tournament and what this sudden move means. Our middle-aged elf just doubles down with the energy of a guy who already booked the train ticket in his head. No long speeches, just a firm "I am going" that somehow still looks elegant. A quieter moment follows, two figures close and talking it through. The dark elf's presence makes the whole exchange feel charged and important. Underneath, it is just a tired old man making sure the plan is solid before walking into a crowd. The arena itself rises into view, a massive structure built for spectacle and noise. Our alluring dark elf heads straight for it like someone clocking in for an unwanted overtime shift. The middle-aged brain is already bracing for the volume. The action explodes right away with fists flying and fighters trading heavy blows. Our middle-aged elf watches the chaos with the weary patience of someone who has seen too many office arguments turn loud. The body may look ready for legend, but the soul is ready for a quiet seat. One blonde fighter charges in with a powerful strike that lights up the whole arena. The crowd roars like this is the greatest show alive. Meanwhile, the dark elf is probably calculating how long until the whole thing wraps so everyone can go home. The matches keep rolling, bodies hitting the ground and the energy climbing higher. Suddenly, the name Albert rips through the stands as the crowd loses its mind. Our middle-aged elf takes it all in with the calm of a man who just wants the noise to settle. More fighters clash, shields up and determination written all over their faces. One competitor digs deep and declares they can still do this, feeding the roaring atmosphere. The dark elf remains the calm center in a sea of people who have no idea an old salaryman is quietly judging the whole production. Swords come out and the intensity spikes again, faces tight with effort and the arena floor turning into pure chaos. Every swing looks dramatic under the eyes of the crowd. Our alluring dark elf just keeps that perfect, mysterious composure while internally sighing about how long this is taking. When the dust settles, the talk turns to winners and what comes next. Albert's name is right at the center of it, and the two figures left standing exchange the kind of look that says the tournament just shifted. The middle-aged man inside the dark elf is already filing this under "more attention I did not ask for." The entire Colosseum erupts for Albert as the big announcement lands and the crowd goes wild. Our beautiful dark elf stands in the middle of the spectacle, looking like destiny itself, while the old man inside just wants a quiet exit. Whatever got chosen here is about to drag that alluring exterior, and the grumpy salaryman running it, straight into the next round of trouble. Chapter 30 opens right in the middle of the usual mess. Our alluring dark elf stands there looking every bit the mysterious powerhouse, while the middle-aged man inside is already tired of whatever new headache the day has cooked up. The people around her keep talking like she is some unstoppable force of nature. The conversation gets louder and more dramatic by the second. Everyone is hyped, pointing fingers and making big plans. Meanwhile, the old salaryman soul is just silently hoping this does not turn into overtime. A couple of the locals lean in close, clearly starstruck by the dark elf's looks. They have no idea the person behind those elegant eyes is mentally drafting a complaint letter about the noise levels. Our middle-aged elf finally steps forward and the whole mood shifts. That graceful dark elf posture makes everyone freeze, but inside, he is just trying to remember if he locked the door back in his old life. Suddenly, the calm shatters and blades come out. The dark elf moves with lethal elegance while the man inside is already complaining about his knees. Spectators think they are watching a legend. They are watching a guy who wants a chair. A massive armored warrior steps up and the tension spikes. Our dark elf faces him down, looking cool and untouchable. Inside, the middle-aged man is quietly calculating how much this is going to cost in medical bills later. Steel clashes and magic flares. The dark elf dances through the fight like a nightmare made of silken shadows. The old man running the show is mostly focused on not pulling anything important. A huge dark beast erupts into the fray and the arena goes wild. Everyone sees a beautiful dark elf standing fearless against the monster. What they do not see is the internal scream of a man who just wanted a quiet afternoon nap. Magic circles light up the ground as allies jump in to help. The dark elf stays right in the center of it all, looking majestic. Inside, the middle-aged soul is already planning the strongly worded review he will leave for this entire event. One of the fighters snaps and lets out a furious shout that echoes across the whole place. The dark elf barely reacts, which only makes her look cooler. The old man inside is mostly wondering if this counts as workplace harassment. Then the light hits her. Standing alone in the middle of the arena, the dark elf looks like something out of a legend, glowing and untouchable. The crowd loses its mind. The middle-aged man is just relieved the loud part might finally be over. The full arena comes into view and it is packed. People are on their feet cheering for the mysterious beauty who just dominated the fight. None of them know she is currently thinking about tea and a long sit-down. Close-ups catch every reaction in the stands. Allies look impressed, rivals look shaken, and the dark elf just stands there radiating quiet power. Inside, the salaryman is already budgeting how many days off he will need after this. The dust starts to settle, and the reality of what just happened sinks in for everyone watching. They saw a dark elf of impossible grace and strength. What actually won the day was pure middle-aged stubbornness and a deep desire to go home. As the cheers keep rolling, our dark elf remains perfectly composed on the outside. On the inside, the old man is already drafting the world's longest sigh. He survived another round of unwanted spotlight, but the look on his face says he knows the trouble is far from finished. And just like that, the chapter leaves us hanging on the edge of the arena, the crowd still roaring and the dark elf standing tall. The middle-aged man inside has no idea what fresh nonsense is coming next, but you can bet it will not involve the quiet life he keeps begging for. Chapter 31 drops us right into the arrival. Our middle-aged man in the stunning dark elf body is staring out at a sprawling fantasy capital like a salaryman who just got transferred to the big branch office overnight. Everything looks vaguely familiar and completely overwhelming at the same time. The view from the overlook is pure postcard material. While his companions gush about how grand the royal capital looks, the dark elf just stands there with that quiet, world-weary expression that screams, "I miss my old desk and a hot cup of tea." A refined local woman waves them over with the kind of polished smile that usually means paperwork is coming. Our dark elf follows along, already calculating how much trouble this beautiful face is about to attract in a crowded city. Cue the first wave of attention. A cluster of young women light up the second they spot the dark elf, chattering like they just found the capital's newest celebrity. Inside that gorgeous head, a middle-aged man is already sighing about the social battery drain. More introductions, more polite smiles. The dark elf keeps the conversation short and practical while everyone else keeps stealing glances at that impossible allure. Classic fish out of water energy. One of the girls waves a flyer like it holds the secrets of the universe. The dark elf leans in with the focused squint of a man reading the fine print on a work contract, trying to figure out what fresh nonsense the city has planned. And then they hit the main plaza, instant chaos. The crowd parts, stares lock on, and suddenly every eye in the capital seems glued to the dark elf's every step. Our middle-aged protagonist just wants to blend in and find lunch. The universe has other ideas. Whispers ripple through the market stalls. People point, blush, and openly gawk at the mysterious beauty gliding past. Meanwhile, the guy running the show inside is mentally drafting a resignation letter from public life. The group tries to keep moving and act normal. Someone offers reassurance that everything is fine, but the dark elf's polite nod carries the energy of a man who knows fine never lasts long when you look like that. A quiet moment indoors lets the dark elf finally sit and process. A helpful attendant appears, and for a second it almost feels like a normal day, until that alluring exterior starts drawing the wrong kind of curiosity again. Trouble arrives right on schedule. A sudden scuffle breaks out and the dark elf is forced to move, all graceful danger on the outside, while the middle-aged mind inside is just annoyed that the peaceful afternoon got canceled. Steel flashes and voices rise. The dark elf stays cool and collected, talking the situation down with the calm of someone who has survived far worse office politics. The gap between that lethal beauty and the tired practicality underneath has never been funnier. One quick dash later and the immediate mess is behind them. The dark elf lands with perfect poise, already brushing off the excitement like it was just another inconvenient commute delay. Meanwhile, a completely different conversation is heating up nearby. A spiky-haired young man and a blonde companion share a charged moment full of unfinished sentences and heavy stares, the kind of side plot tension that never stays side plot for long. The young man looks like he just got hit with a revelation he was not ready for. Whatever he just realized about the dark elf or the situation, it has him rattled in the most dramatic way possible. He steadies himself with a fierce new determination, the classic "I have a destiny now" face. Somewhere across the capital, our middle-aged dark elf is probably just trying to find a quiet place to sit down, completely unaware that bigger complications are lining up. Two figures watch from a distance and quietly ask the question hanging over everything. What exactly are they supposed to do next? Whatever the answer is, it is definitely going to interrupt the dark elf's dream of a calm, ordinary life. See you in the next chapter. Chapter 32 drops us straight into the arena, and our middle-aged dark elf is already in the middle of a very public mess. The crowd is roaring, the opponent is hyped up, and all our salaryman hero wants is for this whole spectacle to wrap up so he can go sit down somewhere quiet. The challenger is swinging steel and big talk like this is the fight of a lifetime. Our dark elf just stands there with that calm, slightly exhausted posture that says, "I used to deal with worse on Monday mornings at the office." Then the opponent drops a flashy spell and actually shouts, "Then get taken out, elf girl," which is peak fantasy drama. Inside that gorgeous dark elf shell, a middle-aged man is silently calculating how much longer this is going to take and whether there will be snacks afterward. Magic flares, blades clash, and the arena turns into pure chaos. Everyone watching sees a mysterious, lethal beauty dancing through the fight. What they are actually watching is a grumpy old soul trying not to pull a muscle while finishing the job efficiently. The opponent keeps coming in hot, full of youthful fire and zero chill. Our dark elf parries, sidesteps, and generally treats the whole thing like an annoying overtime shift that absolutely must end on time. One clean motion later, and the dark elf is already on the front foot, sword ready, expression cool as ever. The gap between that alluring exterior and the practical middle-aged brain running the show has never been funnier. Even mid-swing, the internal monologue is pure salaryman. Confusion about the rules, mild irritation at the noise, and a quiet wish that everyone would just calm down. The opponent has no idea who they are really sparring with. For a second, the Dark Elf actually pauses and looks at the other fighter with something almost like pity. That soft, you're not a bad person energy is pure middle-aged dad energy leaking out of an impossibly elegant face. Then the switch flips, sword up, eyes sharp, and the arena gets a full dose of why this dark elf looks so dangerous to everyone else. The old man inside has decided enough is enough. One decisive strike tears across the field in a blast of light and force. The crowd loses its mind while our hero is probably just thinking, okay, that should settle it, right? The follow-up is clean and professional, no wasted movement, no showboating. Just a tired middle-aged man in a stunning body finishing the match the same way he used to finish quarterly reports, thoroughly and with minimal drama. The opponent hits the stones hard, and the fight is suddenly over. Our dark elf stands there catching a breath while the entire arena processes what they just witnessed. And then the announcement rings out across the Colosseum. The winner is the Dark Elf. The crowd erupts, the loser stays down, and our middle-aged hero looks like someone who just wants the after-party to be cancelled. Standing over the fallen challenger, the Dark Elf's expression is pure, quiet relief mixed with "please do not make me do a victory speech." That beautiful face is doing mysterious champion vibes while the soul inside is already planning the exit route. Without another word, the Dark Elf turns and walks away across the stone floor, leaving the arena and the stunned onlookers behind. One very confused fighter is left staring after that alluring silhouette, completely unaware they just lost to a middle-aged man who mainly wanted a nap. Chapter 33 drops us straight into a lively household scene, and our alluring Dark Elf is already the center of attention without even trying. Kids are bouncing around, adults are chatting, and that impossibly gorgeous exterior has everyone treating the middle-aged man inside like some graceful maternal icon. He just wanted a quiet corner, but the comedy is already warming up. The Dark Elf is deep in conversation, offering practical advice with the weary patience of someone who has paid bills for decades. Being a mother is hard work, the old man inside points out, and you really should take care of yourself first. Everyone hears wise, elegant counsel from a mysterious beauty. What they are actually getting is salaryman common sense. The talk turns even more domestic as the kids and adults lean in. Our middle-aged elf keeps the calm, slightly grumpy energy going while the room fills with warm chatter about family and care. The gap between the stunning dark elf look and the tired, practical mind running the show has never felt funnier. A whole group gathers around, cooing over how cute the children are. The dark elf stands there looking ethereal and composed, but inside the old man is just cataloging the noise level and wondering when nap time starts. Trouble always finds the beautiful ones, and right now trouble looks a lot like wholesome chaos. Things shift indoors to a quieter room with a bed and more serious talk. Our dark elf listens with that signature, unreadable elegance while the middle-aged brain underneath files everything away like another long work meeting. The contrast keeps delivering. A little horned girl looks up with big eyes and asks if anyone wants to take care of her even without makeup. The dark elf's perfect face stays serene, but you can practically hear the old man inside sighing about responsibilities he never signed up for. This body keeps attracting exactly the kind of sincere trouble he cannot dodge. A bright blonde girl lights up the frame, surrounded by kids and declaring how happy she is. She wants to be just like the dark elf someday. Our middle-aged protagonist can only stand there looking alluring while internally filing this under "please no more expectations today." The dark elf actually smiles and says being a mother is wonderful, kids hugging close. It is peak comedy, the most beautiful dark elf in the room delivering warm lines while the grumpy old salaryman's soul just wants everyone to settle down and lower the volume. The heart of the story is right here in that gap. A dark-haired young man appears with a tiny girl in tow, calling her cute and vowing to protect her. The dark elf watches the wholesome scene unfold with that cool exterior, but the middle-aged mind is already calculating how much energy this kind of enthusiasm costs. Family vibes are strong and slightly exhausting. More back and forth fills the panels as adults and kids bounce ideas around. Our dark elf stays the calm, mysterious center while the old man inside quietly endures another round of social battery drain. Every glance in that direction only piles on more attention. Suddenly, the scene opens up to fancier company, elegant clothes, and serious faces. The dark elf's alluring presence draws every eye in the room like a magnet. The middle-aged man steering the body just wants to blend into the wallpaper and find a quiet seat. A young man looks completely overwhelmed amid the crowd, while the dark elf remains the picture of composed beauty. Inside, pure middle-aged practicality is trying to map an exit strategy. The fish out of water energy is cranked all the way up. Close-ups hit hard as the young man softens completely over the little girl, calling her cute and promising forever protection. Nearby, the dark elf observes with that dangerous-looking grace, while the old soul inside is just glad someone else is handling the emotional heavy lifting for once. Things get a little chaotic with the young man off balance and the dark elf stepping into the frame looking every bit the mysterious powerhouse. A white-haired figure joins the mix and someone ends up on a knee. Our middle-aged elf keeps the cool exterior locked in place even as the situation spirals into more attention. Elegant figures in fine clothes keep the conversation going while the dark elf lingers at the edge like a living legend. Everyone sees danger and beauty. The tired old man running the show sees another social obligation he never asked for and starts counting the minutes until escape. Finally, the mask slips just a fraction. The dark elf looks thoroughly wiped out and mutters about being exhausted and wanting to go home. That is pure middle-aged man energy leaking through the most alluring face in the kingdom, and it is glorious. If he thinks a quiet night is waiting, the next chapter is already sharpening its surprises. Chapter 34 picks up with our alluring dark elf still stuck in the middle of other people's drama, and the middle-aged man inside is already exhausted. Everyone around the table is buzzing about what just happened, while the dark elf sits there with that perfect, mysterious expression that screams danger and beauty. Inside, pure salaryman fatigue and a silent prayer for one quiet evening. Word is spreading fast. The girls nearby cannot stop talking about how the dark elf swept in and handled everything like some legendary figure. To them, she is cool, powerful, and impossibly graceful. To the old man running the show, it was just another headache he would rather have skipped. Then comes the real bombshell. Someone blurts out that they have met the hero, and the whole mood flips. The dark elf's face stays composed, but you can practically hear the middle-aged sigh building behind those elegant features. Fame is the last thing this tired soul wants. A quick flash of the earlier chaos shows exactly why everyone is so worked up. Magic flying, people scrambling, and right in the middle of it, the dark elf looking like she owns the battlefield. The gap between that dazzling exterior and the grumpy old man just trying not to get involved has never been wider. Alone for a moment, the dark elf lets the mask slip just a little. Long white hair framing a face that could stop a war, yet the eyes are pure middle-aged weariness. All he wants is a calm life, a soft bed, and zero destiny nonsense. Of course, quiet never lasts. A young girl with horns corners the dark elf, eyes sparkling with pure admiration. She wants answers, guidance, anything this mysterious beauty can offer. Our protagonist answers with the energy of a man who just wants to go home and put his feet up. The dark elf tries the honest approach. He explains he does not know what he is doing half the time and simply wants a peaceful existence. The girl hears profound wisdom from a battle-hardened legend. The comedy writes itself. Somehow this turns into a whole gathering. Food appears, people gather around, and the dark elf is stuck playing the graceful host while the middle-aged man inside calculates how many social batteries he has left. Spoiler, not many. The horned girl is not done. She presses closer, full of questions and excitement, while the dark elf answers with the patience of someone who has sat through too many pointless office meetings. Every calm reply only makes her more determined to stick around. One unexpected gift later, and the dark elf is wearing flowers like some ethereal forest spirit. The look is flawless. The internal monologue is pure. Why is this happening to me? The girl beams like she has just been blessed by a goddess. Soft words are exchanged. The dark elf ends up offering quiet support in that elegant way that makes everyone melt. Inside, the old man is just trying to be a decent person and wrap this up before it becomes a lifelong commitment. Meanwhile, other folks are already digging through books and records, trying to figure out exactly who this stunning dark elf really is. Little do they know the truth would break their brains. A middle-aged man with back pain and a love of early nights is not the legend they are hunting for. Back with the girl, the admiration only grows. She declares she wants to become strong, just like her new idol. The dark elf listens with that serene half-smile, while the salaryman's soul quietly panics about becoming anyone's role model. And then the dark elf strikes a pose so cool it should be illegal, rose and all, looking every bit the untouchable beauty of legend. The middle-aged man inside can only think one thing. If these people had any idea who was actually behind the face, this entire situation would collapse. Night falls and the dark elf stands under the stars, finally getting a sliver of the quiet he keeps chasing. The beautiful face stays unreadable, but the heart underneath is pure, tired old man, hoping tomorrow brings fewer admirers and more peace. Something tells me he is not that lucky. Chapter 35 picks up with our alluring dark elf once again surrounded by people who see pure mystery and danger. On the inside, the middle-aged man is already tired of the noise and just wants this conversation to wrap up so he can find somewhere quiet. The girls keep chattering away, hanging on every graceful little reaction. What they do not realize is that their beautiful dark elf companion is running pure salaryman logic, nodding along while mentally clocking the nearest exit. A smaller companion latches on with full dramatic energy, and the dark elf's perfect face stays calm. Inside, the old man is already sighing about how kids these days have zero chill and way too much free time. Then the room erupts. A sudden swish of motion sends papers and people flying, and everyone scrambles. Our middle-aged elf barely flinches, treating the chaos like an unexpected office fire drill. Explanations start flying as the group tries to sort out what just happened. The dark elf listens with that cool, alluring stare, while the man inside quietly files it under more nonsense I did not ask for. A dramatic figure in black points straight at them with full intensity. Everyone braces for a serious confrontation, but our protagonist is mostly wondering how long this speech is going to last. One of the girls throws herself into a desperate hug, begging not to be left behind. The dark elf's elegant arms return the gesture out of pure social obligation, while the middle-aged soul inside just wants everyone to calm down and use their indoor voices. In the middle of the tension, a heavy pouch of coins gets flung through the air with a swift jingle. Our dark elf tracks it with perfect poise, already calculating the practical value like any tired adult who has paid rent before. The pouch leads straight into a full-body crash. Wham! Ka-thud! Someone goes flying into the wall and ends up sprawled on the floor. The beautiful dark elf stands over the mess, looking mysterious. Inside it is pure, I am too old for this energy. While the dust settles, the group gathers around the fallen figure. Our middle-aged elf offers the bare minimum of concern, already planning how to extract everyone from the situation without further drama. Then the dark elf speaks with quiet intensity, laying out a firm decision. That gorgeous face makes every word sound profound, yet the man behind it is simply drawing a hard boundary the way any exhausted adult would. They move the talk outside, still surrounded by worried faces. The dark elf keeps that cool, untouchable aura while internally running a full risk assessment on every emotional plea being thrown around. The cat-eared girl refuses to back down, staring up with pure determination. Our alluring dark elf meets the gaze with perfect composure, even as the middle-aged man inside feels the familiar headache of being needed by everyone at once. More heartfelt words fly back and forth. The dark elf finally makes it clear there is no intention of dragging anyone into unnecessary trouble, delivering the line with elegant finality while secretly craving a quiet room and a long break. A close, almost tender moment follows as the cat-eared companion leans in. Everyone watching sees a mysterious dark elf bond forming. What they miss is the old man awkwardly enduring the affection like a reluctant uncle at a family gathering. With the decision made, the group heads out into the open streets under the big open sky. Our middle-aged elf walks with that signature alluring grace, already bracing for whatever fresh chaos this fantasy world is about to throw next. Rain hammers the streets and the whole town feels damp and miserable. Perfect weather for our middle-aged dark elf who just wants to stay dry and avoid drama for once. A lively little group is chatting under cover, swapping stories like any other day. None of them realize the most alluring dark elf around is actually a grumpy salaryman counting the minutes until he can go home. The conversation keeps rolling, full of big plans and bigger egos. Our dark elf would trade every bit of this excitement for a quiet cup of tea and a chair that does not hurt the back. Smiles all around as someone cracks a joke. On the outside, the dark elf looks mysterious and cool. On the inside, it is pure middle-aged sighing about how loud everyone is. Then the peaceful moment shatters, blades flash, and the street turns into pure chaos in a single heartbeat. Steel rings against steel as the fight spills everywhere. Our dark elf is already calculating the fastest way to end this nonsense and get back to a normal afternoon. That is when the stunning dark elf steps fully into the fray, looking every bit the dangerous beauty the world expects. Inside, just a tired old man wondering why trouble always finds him. The clash gets personal fast. Everyone sees a graceful, alluring fighter. What they are actually watching is a middle-aged man trying not to pull something while swinging a sword. Close-ups catch that perfect dark elf intensity, the kind that makes hearts race. Behind those eyes is pure salaryman irritation at yet another unplanned workout. A heavy thud drops everyone to the ground in a tangled heap. The dark elf lands looking dramatic and powerful while internally complaining about bruised knees and ruined clothes. Face to face now, the moment feels charged and intense to anyone watching. Our middle-aged elf is mostly just hoping this ends before someone starts asking awkward questions. A few quick words are exchanged while the dark elf tries to keep things practical. Looking mysterious is easy. Explaining the grumpy old man logic underneath is the hard part. No more talking. In one smooth motion, the dark elf grabs the nearest person and launches straight out the window like it is the most normal exit in the world. Blades meet again with a sharp slice as the fight continues outside. The dark elf still looks elegant and lethal while thinking only about how much laundry this day is going to cost. And then the big reveal hits. They are dealing with a vampire, exactly the kind of over-the-top fantasy nonsense our middle-aged dark elf never asked for and definitely does not have the energy to handle. With a vampire now in the mix and the whole town watching that beautiful dark elf form, one thing is certain. The calm life this old man keeps dreaming about is slipping even further away. Next chapter is going to be wild. Chapter 37 drops us straight into the aftermath of whatever mess our dark elf walked into last time. On the outside, it is all mysterious beauty and quiet intensity. On the inside, a middle-aged man is already calculating how much longer until he can sit down and rest his back. The talk is short and sharp. Someone is volunteering to handle the rest, and our alluring dark elf just gives that calm little nod that makes everyone else think deep strategy is happening. Really, the old salaryman is just hoping the plan involves fewer stairs. Of course, the plan immediately turns into a full-speed dash across the battlefield. Cloaks flying, weapons out, the whole dramatic package. Our middle-aged elf moves like a living legend while mentally complaining about the cardio. Blades clash and bodies fly. The dark elf weaves through the chaos with impossible grace, every motion looking lethal and elegant. Inside, pure middle-aged focus. Keep the posture clean. Do not pull anything. Finish this before dinner gets cold. A huge swing comes in, and our protagonist answers with a clean counter that sends the attacker tumbling. Everyone watching sees a terrifying dark elf warrior. We see a tired man who just wants the noise to stop. Magic flares, dust explodes, and the dark elf is already on the next target. The gap between the stunning exterior and the grumbly interior has never been funnier. This is peak fish out of water combat. Another burst of power lights up the field. Our middle-aged elf lands the hit, then immediately looks like someone who just remembered they left the kettle on. Beautiful, dangerous, and deeply done with this nonsense. The remaining fighters get the message fast. One more flashy exchange and the field goes quiet. The dark elf stands there looking like an untouchable legend, while the old man inside quietly checks for pulled muscles. With the fighting over, the group gathers. Our alluring dark elf gets the usual wide-eyed stares of awe. Nobody has any idea the person behind those eyes is already planning the most efficient route back to somewhere with chairs. A quick final flourish settles the last bit of trouble. Then it is straight into the post-battle debrief, where everyone else is still buzzing with adrenaline and our middle-aged elf is just glad the shouting has stopped. The companions start piecing together what just happened. Our dark elf listens with that perfect, mysterious silence. Inside, the salaryman is filing the whole event under things that could have been an email. More quiet conversation follows as the group tries to make sense of the bigger picture. Every so often, someone glances at the dark elf like she holds all the answers. She holds a middle-aged man who mostly holds a desire for tea. Night settles in and our protagonist ends up alone for a moment under the stars. The beautiful dark elf silhouette looks profound and lonely. The reality is a tired old man finally getting 2 seconds of peace and quiet. The quiet does not last. More talk, more questions, more people who have no clue they are dealing with a grumpy salaryman in the most alluring package imaginable. The comedy writes itself. Eventually, the group starts moving again, heading toward a grand building that looks important, and more importantly, like it might have somewhere to sit. Our middle-aged elf follows with the energy of a man who has already worked a full shift. One of the companions lays out the next steps with complete confidence. Everyone nods along, ready for whatever comes. Our dark elf just stands there looking cool, while the old man inside braces for round 2 of unwanted adventure. Chapter 38 drops us right back into the chaos surrounding our alluring dark elf, who is still very much a grumpy middle-aged man on the inside. Everyone else sees a mysterious beauty who could topple kingdoms with a glance. What they actually get is a salaryman just trying to keep the day from getting any weirder. Nearby, tensions are already running high. A dark-haired guy and a white-haired girl go back and forth, neither willing to budge on whatever plan just got shot down. Our middle-aged elf watches the whole exchange with the quiet exhaustion of someone who has sat through too many pointless office meetings. The conversation swings to past events and a certain sword that clearly means trouble. Meanwhile, a pair of blonde girls trade notes on who did what and when. Piecing together connections our dark elf would rather nobody examine too closely. And then there is this elegant blonde fellow staring off with the weight of the world on his shoulders. Whatever is brewing, it has his full attention, and that usually means our middle-aged elf is about to get dragged into something exhausting. Fresh chapter energy kicks in as the group keeps circling the same problem. Our dark elf stands there looking every bit the enigmatic beauty, while inside the old man is already calculating how many steps it would take to reach the nearest quiet corner and pretend none of this is happening. Then it happens. In a swirl of long white hair, the dark elf suddenly pulls someone into a firm hold. To everyone watching, it looks intimate and dramatic. To the middle-aged soul running the show, it is pure practical dad energy. Keep the kid from doing something stupid. The poor guy on the receiving end freezes, completely thrown. He stares like he just got hit by lightning, while our elf simply waits for the flailing to stop so they can get back to business. The gap between appearance and intent has never been funnier. Explanations start flying. The dark elf lays things out in that calm, no-nonsense tone that somehow still sounds alluring coming from this face. The others lean in, hanging on every word, completely missing that they are listening to a middle-aged man who just wants the situation resolved so he can sit down. A quiet beat follows. Our elf glances toward the light, looking for all the world like a tragic heroine deep in thought. Inside, the old man is simply cataloging how many more headaches this day is likely to produce. Face to face with the glasses-wearing fellow, the conversation turns serious. The dark elf admits what has not been said out loud yet, voice steady. The man listens like every syllable carries ancient elven wisdom instead of pure middle-aged practicality. They move on together, the picture of a graceful dark elf and her composed companion. Nobody walking past would guess one of them is mentally drafting a complaint about how nobody in this world understands the value of a quiet afternoon. The little animal-eared girl ends up in the spotlight next, looking thoroughly dejected while the others try to sort her out. Our middle-aged elf observes the whole thing with the weary patience of someone who has talked junior co-workers off the ledge more times than he can count. Something at the door or down the hall snags the dark elf's attention. That beautiful face shifts through surprise and focus in a heartbeat, while the old man inside simply registers yet another interruption to the already ruined schedule. Close-ups fly as emotions run high. The dark elf and the little one exchange looks that could mean anything from deep magical bonding to a simple, "Kid, pull yourself together." Knowing our protagonist, it is definitely the second one. Finally, the dark elf sits, lays out the truth in plain terms, then stands and faces whatever comes next with that same unshakable calm. Everyone around is captivated by the mysterious allure. The middle-aged man behind the eyes is just glad the talking portion might finally be over. But if this chapter taught us anything, it is that calm never lasts long when you look like that. Whatever is waiting just off panel is already winding up, and our reluctant dark elf is about to get pulled straight into the middle of it again.